That's why I don't wear
You're
it.
not wearing one,
That's
but
why I
yeah.
don't wear skirts. No, I was actually getting goosebumps.
I would like to call this meeting to order. This is the Ortonville Village Council. This is a regular council meeting held on Monday, August 25th. It is 7 o'clock, and this meeting is now underway. If we could rise, I'd like to ask Anthony Randazzo to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tony. If I could have a roll call, please.
Quisenberry,
I am here.
Nigel,
There, here,
Brooks. Here. Green.
here.
Hayden.
Here.
Randazzo.
Here.
And Faulkner.
Here.
Wow, full house. Well, on this side of the room. Next is the approval of the agenda, and we have an agenda with 13 items on it, and I looked it over. It seemed fine to me. Is there any board member that would like to propose a change or approve it as it is
I make a
written?
motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support?
Okay, moved and supported. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We now have an agenda from which to work from. The approval of council minutes in our packet is we met on July the 28th. Doesn't seem all that long ago, but like, wasn't that yesterday or a couple days ago? Yeah. Can't imagine anything's accumulated in that amount of time. But nonetheless, those meeting minutes are in there, as well as we did a closed session at the same time. Those minutes are in here as well, and it's our duty to approve them.
Make a motion to approve the village council regular minute meetings of July 28th, 2025.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any more discussion? There should probably be none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. That passes. Next is item B.
Make a motion to approve our village council closed minute meetings, July 28th, 2025.
Support.
Moved and supported. Is there further discussion? And there might likely not be any. With that being the case, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, those are accepted as well. Those will now become part of the village official documents maintained at the village office. Next is item 6. It's acceptance items. These are items that the village office receives on a routine basis, and they're things that are just for our information only, and we like to share that with the public at these meetings. Therefore, I would like to inform you that the DDA has minute meetings, as is there a treasurer report and also a revenue report. Those are available at the village office for anyone's review at any time. But in this case, it's just for our acceptance, and I, on behalf of this whole board, will accept those items as part of the village record. Next is approval of disbursements. Payables ending in July. As everybody is aware, we switched our payables a few months back to correspond with the calendar months as opposed to going from the 15th to the 15th, which would have been our budget month. It now corresponds with the calendar month. So that little bit of transition over the past couple of months to make that happen seems to have worked out. So we get to approve today our expenditures for the month of July 2025.
Make a motion to approve our disbursements of $52,515.99 for the month of July 2025.
Support.
Well, moved and supported. If there, I'd like to first ask if there's any questions or discussions about the disbursements. And hearing none, we can approve these, provided there's a roll call vote that supports it.
Now, what are we doing treasurer?
Nigel.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Hayden.
Yes.
Randazzo.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, all righty. By the way, I know this was a bit of an interruption. I do want to interrupt our agenda just to say thanks to the recording secretary tonight. This is meeting number 2 for her, and did really well at number 1, but still, it can be, I don't know, not stressful, but just a little bit tenuous, thinking, okay, I got to listen to 7 other people, and I got to get it all down. So that's a daunting task for anyone. And you did well last time. I'm sure you'll do well this time. And the board, myself, on behalf of the board, would like to thank you for that. So welcome to meeting number 2, and thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you.
I assume everybody on this board is in agreement with that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
Okay.
If not, keep it to yourself.
That's what we get. Disbursements, public comments. In the audience, we invite members of the village to come and speak to the village council board about any issue that they care to that might in some way impact us or all of us or any village resident. This is the time for that. If there's anybody who's come to this meeting tonight to speak with us, please feel free to do so now. Well, that empty chair. Oh, wait a minute. We got. I was going to call on the person there second to the left, but I'll go with you.
Faye Bindig, Edna Burton Senior Center. I didn't know if you wanted me to talk now or if you guys were going to have questions. It's about the community credits for SMART. I just would like to stress that we do have a lot of the village people that we transport, and we do deliver lunches, we deliver Focus, Hope, and commodities.
Okay, I have to interrupt. You're kind of catching us a little bit off guard because you said this is not on the agenda, but just tell me what
She
we're
is on
talking
the
about.
agenda.
It's
Yeah,
about
Smart.
community
Oh,
credits.
okay.
She didn't know if she should
We
speak now.
didn't know if we could do it now.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't know if I should talk now or if
Hey,
you guys were
talk
going to
now
have
is fine.
questions.
You can actually talk now and then.
Okay.
Okay. I just would like to encourage the board to transfer their community credits to the township for SMART instead of going with NODA. If something happens and, we lose our program, they won't deliver the lunches, they won't deliver the Focus Hope, they won't deliver the commodities. So, and we're a lot more flexible than they are.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can anyone call you and set up, if they need to go somewhere senior-wise? I mean, I guess. senior-wise.
Within Brandon Township, the village of Ortonville, Groveland Township, but it's got to be within the Brandon School District.
Okay, but anybody who
Yeah.
fits that
Yes.
would not be turned away?
No.
Okay.
So
Well,
there's no
dep-
age,
It's supposed to be 50 and over, but we do transport other ones that are under 50.
so how is that decided?
Usually the ones that we transport that are under 50 are disabled, physical or emotionally or whatever, but
How many meals are you usually giving out?
we deliver, between us and the volunteers, 17, sometimes 19, just depends. It varies day by day, Monday through Friday.
That's within the village and the township?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, Yeah.
And is that instead of Meals on Wheels?
No, that is Meals
That-
on Wheels.
So you're doing the Meals on Wheels program, but with the SMART buses?
Correct. Correct. Some of it we do have volunteers, but sometimes, like every day, we have to have one driver because our route got so big that we had to split it into 2 routes. So we do have our drivers deliver lunches, and they deliver Focus Hope, which is a federally funded, over 60 low-income senior food program once a month, and then the commodities is low income no matter how old you are, you have to be over 18. And that is once every 3 months, and that's also a federally funded.
And what is,
Commodities is a temporary emergency food assistance program.
so it's like a box of food?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. And that's one time a month?
That one is every 3 months.
Or every 3, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Thank
Focus
you.
Hope is once a month.
yep.
And that's just for low-income seniors.
Okay. And then, so I have to, we pay the transit authority. We have that now that Oakland County was gracious enough to tax all of us
Include us
on that millage.
Yes.
So we pay that, and then we also pay an additional for smart buses, correct?
Well, the community credits, you get the money from SMART.
That's, if we didn't do that though, so,
Okay, we do kind of have to do this because that is an agenda item, and I want to get
Okay.
deeper into this. Are you going to be around for a while?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
staying.
please do, because
Okay.
then when it comes up, the board is going to fire questions at you.
Okay.
And
okay.
I
I thought
realize
that
you
was
might
the
not
time.
be, that might not be what you're doing here this
no.
absolute minute, other than you're discussing agenda items, which you did. Thank you so much for that, but you will be coming up again, because like Melanie, I have a few questions I want to ask you as well. But in an effort to keep the meeting going right along, in the section of public comments, is there anyone else here from the public who would like to address the board? Okay, there are none. Takes us to item 10. Can you believe it? 10 minutes and we're on item 10.
9.
9
Nine?
items from trustees.
Well, we
Nice
just finished
try,
that.
though.
We just finished items, oh, no, items
Yeah,
from
we did,
trustees starts
yeah.
now?
Yes.
I'm going to actually start with Alex.
Oh, me.
Yours are so good. I like to
They're okay.
I like to start on a high note.
Sure. Been fairly busy with work. I've been traveling a lot. I was in Yellowstone National Park exploring. That was some personal stuff and for work. I will be attending the September 15th septic meeting that we're going to be doing here coming up. That's really about it.
When's that meeting?
It's on the 15th, and it's the septic system.
And it's a septic system meeting? Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to go to that?
It's a webinar.
I'm definitely going to be able to attend it.
Well, certainly that's great to hear, because we'll have firsthand information about what transpires. Larry, how about you?
Yeah, I'm also planning on attending that septic seminar
Okay.
or meeting. I'm also scheduling a street committee meeting this week. I've got that scheduled with Matt, and they'll have the contractor who did the phase 1 there too. He said was hopefully going to be there tomorrow too. If anybody has any questions or topics they want to have me go over at the street committee meeting, just let me know. And that's pretty much it. Been pretty busy working personal, so not a lot of chance to do much other stuff.
Okay, well, that's what summer's all about. But, Matt, I do want to ask you, when he mentioned this Phase 2, I don't actually know what Phase 2 is, and I'll be dead honest with you, I don't want to know what Phase 2 is, because I like it when people call you and, you know, hey,
It's
am
the
I on the
second
list?
part.
Am I on the list? Am I on the list? I don't want people calling me saying, hey, when's my street coming up?
Right.
I don't know, and I honestly don't want to know. I'll just say those decisions get made by, people higher up
Just call the village manager.
higher up the food chain than I happen to be. So those phone or those road requests, they just get funneled to you, and I don't know how you even decide, but for whatever reason, you must have some arbitrary or non-arbitrary way of.
It's a balance of
Yeah.
priority because of condition and
course.
affordability based on what
There you
dollars we
go.
have available.
That's where it lies. That's where it should lie. So I just wanted to say I don't have any part of that, nor do I ever want it. When it comes to the priorities of the roads, because then you are in a little trick bag about, oh, how come this guy and not this guy? So that's not going to happen. And Larry, you had finished yours, right? Yes. Okay. Melanie,
Okay.
you got a lot of notes, man. You are a note taker.
I am. So I saw in the DDA's minutes, the Art at the Mill event planned for September 27th, and I think that sounds really cool. It didn't say what time, but I'll follow up with the office, and I certainly hope that goes forward and it works out. It sounds like they're in the layout stage and overall concept, but I think that's a wonderful idea. I would like, and I'll get with you, Ken, I think we need, as a council, to get together for a workshop to prioritize projects in the village, especially that we have on our CIP, and adjust that accordingly. But I will get with you on that. And wayfinding, I will start back up again with Matt. We had paused it for a little bit while the paving project started, so now we'll be able to get back into it. That's it.
Okay. You mentioned a potential workshop. Probably a very good idea. However, if in fact we would consider one, typically, the budget's June to December, thereabouts. Workshops are great to have in the off months because we get a chance to see how things look so far. A workshop's a great idea. However, probably around end of September, early October is a good time for one of those because we have a pattern to look at, and we also have, the benefit of hindsight. But if we are going to have a workshop, I always believe that it's throw everything and anything on the agenda because we don't do it that often. So it could be discuss what you're talking about and 7 other items that we just need to discuss that we don't get to vote on, which is typical, and that's honestly the value and the benefit of a workshop is to just bang heads together and see if we can't give the village manager an idea of the direction of the board. That's really what its intent is. I think it's a great idea to do that, and that's a perfect topic for topic number 1. However, let's collectively think, and I don't know if end of September, early October works for everybody, but it seems like if we meet at the end of the month, that it would be better to have a workshop maybe like in the first week or 2 of October.
Related to that, Molly, do you think it'd be a good idea to have representatives from DDA and Planning Commission there too? So, because they're also involved with the projects and.
That's up to Ken to figure out.
I guess,
Yeah.
Larry, that's a good point. What I would like to see is once there's an agenda, or at least we know
What's on it,
what we're
yeah.
going to focus on, I don't want anybody to have to attend a workshop and then we don't have to call on them for anything, or, that we're just taking up their time. If there's things that they need to answer, maybe they can answer them before, or they can attend a meeting and answer in person. But seeing an agenda makes it a little more clear as to what we're going to need and what we're going to want to get out of it. What's our goal in having the workshop is to just lay our plans for the next 6 months. And I think that's a great idea. Nobody's opposed to that idea, are they? A meeting in October, a workshop?
If we can help.
Does everybody
clarify our
feel like
priorities,
the
it'd be good for
timeframe is
village
okay because we're already we're creeping onto September, and September is gonna be a somewhat busy month based on what I've seen so far. So following Septemberfest would be a great time for a workshop.
Well, for
So-
me, October is the busiest month, but that's.
Yeah, well,
for
okay.
obvious reasons.
Well, I'll certainly make sure that that you get some input as to when we do this, because not only do I want you to attend, you have to attend. You carry around a lot of good questions, and I would feel we weren't well-served if we didn't get to hear from them. Okay. Tony?
Not too much. I do want to mention that I did see the DPW guys painting the streets, the sidewalks, the schools, and those look really nice. My other concern is there's a stop sign down here at Church and South that has the tree that's right there is just totally engulfed that stop sign. So I'd like to see if maybe Matt or one of the DPW guys could just take a drive around to the corners and see if there's obstruction and get rid of those obstructions. Like I said, it's more vegetation than anything. And that's about it.
Hey, thank you, Tony. Kay Green.
Versus the other K?
Well, I'm just making sure.
Okay.
I can't be too sure.
All right. We've had a few personnel meetings as of late, trying to work out some bugs. And I just wanted to say that the paving project, what is done, looks really good. And I confident going forward, things are gonna go a little smoother, and that everybody's gonna be really pleased when we're done with the project. There's always some glitches. That's it, thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Linda Brooks, Linda Brooks, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right.
I'm used to-
As opposed to just Linda.
There's a lot of Lindas, so
Yeah.
I'm good to be identified which Linda I am. Yeah, I've had a lot going on. I was missed last month. I was on a wonderful family vacation. So there's been a lot going on. Mostly I've been working on a playground structure for Crossman Park, and that is on new business, so I'll talk about that then. Also, I attended the Septemberfest meeting. I'm here to find out, is there anyone on council who would like to enter the apple pie eating contest? Just throwing it out there in case anyone wants to challenge. I'm sponsoring a young lady from our church, big sister of the little girl who ate the ribs at Beaky's.
Oh,
So,
goodness, that was
Family
adorable.
knows how to
That
try.
was adorable.
All right.
So, yeah, Septemberfest is rolling along, another meeting coming up shortly, and.
Matt,
be
I
there
think you
before
should
then.
enter as a representative.
I will gladly
Really?
pay
You gotta
for you
get
to
Village of
enter.
I do.
Ortonville.
I mean, it is apple pie.
I do.
Yeah, so that's
Gonna
all.
wash off in the dunk tank afterwards.
And I
Go
will
from one to
say-
the other.
And I will say that I've been running into people at the farmer's market who have asked for my attention about different things, and I ran into Alan Algeyer,
Uh-huh.
Algeyer,
Algeyer.
from the Historical Society, and he mentioned to me the handicap spot not being visible and people parking on top of it that are not handicap, and right by the old mill. And
it in
I was just
front?
pleased that I reported that to the manager, and it got done really quickly.
Oh, good.
So very pleased that when something was brought up in the chain of command, just kind of slid it over. As Ken, I didn't go to Ken, I went right to the manager.
See,
Ken,
and
I'm not gonna bother
And
you.
that's how you got it done. That's the reason why it got done.
And-
If you
and
can
it
leave
got
me
done.
out of the loop, it'll happen.
But I was just very pleased that was done so quickly.
Okay.
Can
I forgot to
add
mention-
one more thing?
Yes, you may.
I do know that Groveland had a meeting with DTE about the electrical storm that we had about a week and a half ago. I don't know about any of you guys. I had my stove go out. My neighbor had a CPU on their computer go out, processor go out. I know you
The
guys
village,
had some stuff go out.
suffered some-
I just don't know if that's maybe something we should be doing too, is having a meeting with them as about our power grid, because I think multiple people had issues with electronics and stuff going out.
I would have liked to have seen the township with them on that, because it was Groveland and Holly.
Yeah, and I was trying to go, but I missed it too.
Yeah, and I thought that would be great if because that way if the township, then we, we're part of that too. So I thought that was a great idea.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, that would be great to know, because we all sit and wonder,
I think it was
the hows and whys, and are we on the short end of the stick or the long end of the stick when it comes to DTE's, where are their priorities set?
Yeah, well, they keep saying they're gonna improve it, but it's been
Yeah, well,
like this ever since I moved in over 30 years ago.
there's a lot
Well,
of
hang on. Never give up. One thing I did forget to mention, I was asked, for those that are going to be doing the pie eating contest, I was asked to judge the pie contest.
Oh, how wonderful.
I want to
Not
enter.
my.
is it how much you
want to
eat or how
enter a
much you
pie.
wear on you?
How much you wear on you.
I don't know
How
the
much you
rules.
eat or how much is on your shirt?
No, I just taste them to see which one is
I like it.
Oh,
best.
And you probably can't tell me what kind of apples they use, can you?
I might, yeah, I do know my
Macintosh,
apples, yeah.
Michigan
Jonathan,
Granny Smith's, they
Yeah,
use all
there's-
kinds of them, yeah.
lots of good ones. I mean, actually, I didn't know about that, but I might try that out. And you were completed?
Yep.
Okay, that takes care of,
Did you have anything from DDA?
no, I was at the meeting. I was late.
You're our
I
representative.
went
You
there
gotta
late
fill us
and
in.
I
I was
left
there.
early. So what does that say? It just,
It says you were late.
since I was
And
late
left
and early,
early.
wasn't I?
A large part of the DDA meeting at this time actually was a representative from Oakland County who does HR trainings and some different things,
Okay.
who did a presentation. It's beneficial and useful for the people there. I'm not going to
Okay.
sit here and try to reiterate her topic for her, but.
And nor do I think,
No,
I
It's a
got-
good
no.
presentation.
nor do I think we would get
That's
anything
not what
out
I'm
of it. It's
asking.
just-
Yeah, no, I
That's
know.
it,
I'm just saying it's a short description because I think that's as far in as we.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
cool.
I could bring the agenda and read it, line and verse, but I don't know you'd be any wiser when we're done. But, yes, that's that.
I was there too and took no notes. So,
Right, you were there, you were,
She took no
If you-
notes.
I usually take notes and I took no notes.
now, having known now that you were there, would you recapitalize this any different than I
No.
did? Okay,
There you
there we go. I just got confirmation that nothing happened.
I'm so glad I didn't go to that meeting.
It's so early in the morning, it's a wonder you can even remember anything.
Oh, gosh, okay. That takes care of trustees. Unfinished business, cable franchise fees. Myself, Kay, and Melanie, being the Personnel Committee, had a chance to review that contract that we are under with the cable company. And the more I get into this, the more I'm just not so sure what the right path for us is. Originally, I was thinking we could save money and get it done a lot better, cheaper, but I'm not 100% sure of that. So we did get a chance to go over with the township supervisor what the contract actually says and what we get for that. I'm not so sure he knew what we get for it. So unless we want to appoint a committee to look into it further, I'm not in a decision to make a decision
No,
on whether we.
Position.
A position to make a
Position to make a
Make a
decision
decision, yeah.
on whether we should renew it for, what is it, about a 3-year deal, I think?
Yes.
Something like that,
It was a 3-year, but we could have the option of
going along.
each year.
Yeah, well, we can always change the contract or ask for a shorter term.
Yeah. So if we continued next year at this time or whatever time we have to let
Well-
them know, we could.
If
Yeah.
I remember right, when Kay, Mel, and I were discussing it, Alex, you came into the conversation a lot because we think of you as somebody who has, a lot of knowledge and expertise in audio, video,
Yeah, I've been doing this for over 15 years, specifically video. I would tell you that we could probably save some money.
Okay. Well,
Well, there were a couple of things
But-
they mentioned
yeah.
about the old mill, when they did a bunch of filming down there.
Yeah, I guess that
As of
just
late,
got done
I-
with Alan, and which I didn't know, they were doing those, little segments of something, not even sure how many they did,
Right.
but it was a lot of work.
Right.
Alan had mentioned that, and then Matt Jenkins came to our last meeting
Yeah.
and said that, they help him in the DDA, so,
But is our budget part of the DDA that we're paying for?
what do you mean?
The budget that we've already, I was told that the DDA use of it is not part of the budget that we're paying into it. Is that true?
We can't, the cable fees that we get, we have to use on cable. We have to get rid of it and use it on the cable. So it doesn't matter what we got.
Alex, we don't make money or lose
No.
money. The
Right,
cable
it's a-
company
yeah, it's a
sends us a
wash.
check.
So we
We-
might as well use.
We sign it over
Yeah.
to the township.
Sure.
And we get nothing for it except what they give us. Well, I'm not saying
Yeah.
we get nothing, but we just give them our money. But it isn't tax money, it's money from charter
Usage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
that we get from their subscribers.
Right.
But we can use that money for anything we want, provided it falls within that spectrum of audio, visual, somehow benefiting our taxpayers so that they can see how their local government is working. That's all we're required to do. I'm with you, but there's probably a cheaper way to do it, but I don't know what that would be.
Well,
So,
my concern about going with a cheaper way to do it, we might be able to do it cheaper doing it ourselves, but then again, do we have the resources and staff to manage doing it too? Because that's another factor that I don't know.
That's why we said we're
That's
kind
why-
of, we don't know
that's why
which
we're
way to
here.
go,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
I mean,
the
that'd be
best
my concern
avenue.
is that.
are we getting $13,000 a year in service? And we might be.
Yeah, but I mean, for us to try to do it ourselves, then what do we do? Start hiring people to just
A
do that
person,
stuff?
but yeah, it's show up at a meeting once a month, film it, and put it on YouTube.
No, but
Or
then
any other
also,
thing like that that we
the
would need
mill,
them to do.
what just
Yeah,
took place at the
and-
mill, any of the DDA
Emotional
events.
Sure,
advertising.
Speaking
those
out
are all
loud,
benefits,
I'm
and
speaking
I
out
will
loud,
say-
because I'm not
Because if
opposed
I was
to,
to hire a videographer for that, you know how much a day rate would be.
100%, but
Yeah.
if it's just these meetings, it's over $1,000 a meeting.
Right, and we could do that on our phones.
100%.
But the
But it's not
contract
just
is
that.
for all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then we need to use it for everything else. For sure. Everything that we do,
I think we should.
We should.
And I think planning commission meetings should be video too. I think we should make a list and get what we
Well, I
can.
think they used to be in the past, and then they
It
stopped
was.
doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't
maybe they
know-
stopped doing it because nobody's watching.
Well, that's not the point.
Hey now,
Yeah, but-
those are some
It's supposed to
exciting
be
By
meetings.
available.
videoing them, you have the public record.
I don't know, but Alex, there's got to be a way the TV company can tell you how many views you get, because you can do it with
Well,
how
you
many
do
hits.
on YouTube, it will tell
Okay,
you.
but if at the end of the month, 6 people tuned in to see this meeting,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that spending $1,000 so the 6 people could see us is good money.
It's not good money.
No, he's agreeing.
I
with
know.
you. Okay.
Yeah, I
We're-
agree with
Wow,
you there.
okay.
We're taking the same argument.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Alex, I don't know if you were asking, but DDA does have their own budget.
So, yeah, so.
And I don't know exactly how that
Okay.
figures in. I mean, we do a lot of things that also benefit the DDA, but they do also have their own budget.
I agree, we should pay them to go and do the Christmas tree lighting, the parade, all those things. That we can use that money for, absolutely.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, but then we can save some money by not having them film this.
No,
You know.
I agree with you.
But sure, then how much are we saving, where's it going, and is it the
Well,
correct usage of?
I only have a recommendation for the sake of this
Yeah.
meeting right now, and that is, we aren't at the drop-dead date of either approving it or canceling it. Are we, Matt?
We're not, no.
Okay,
think it's
so
So the only
December.
decision tonight would be, are we gonna finish out the year under the contract we're under, or are we gonna leave it early? And it
we
would
should
only
for
save
sure
us one
finish out the
quarter of
year,
fees.
Because then if we want to cancel it, we
That's-
can do that in October or November and still fall within the deadline.
The current contract expires December 31st.
You know, we need to give them
So-
30 days' notice.
Right.
Correct,
So
but if we
by
gave them 30 days'
November.
notice tomorrow, we'd be out and save the quarterly payment for the fourth quarter. That's what I'm
Well-
saying, that's your only decision
True enough,
tonight
but let's
is,
just give
Yeah, let's-
ourselves, without
I would
being,
say
Yeah, let's not
having more
cut off our
information.
nose to spite our
yes,
face.
exactly. Let's just say,
Finish it out and give us
you know,
time to gather information.
we can let the township know that, even verbally, that it's just our intention not to renew. And that will give us some time, and then we'll type
Not
up
to
a-
renew?
Not to renew, unless we vote
To renew or not to renew, we have,
Right,
you know.
what I'm saying is, we don't have to
That is the
decide this minute.
Okay.
But we do have to decide at the next meeting, because that will give us 30 days to,
Is that making sense?
well,
So we're
if
gonna
you're
finish
talking
out
about
the
30
year.
days, it'd be November 30th, or December 1 would be the day due for
don't we
notice,
meet in
but
September?
we do,
October
yes.
and November.
But if you're talking about the last minute for notice, would be November.
Okay,
Yeah.
30th.
so if this is on our agenda for the September meeting, we can, at that meeting, go thumbs up or thumbs down.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and
You
that
can-
doesn't put us under
Any of the
time-
meetings, the next 3 meetings, you
Right,
have
we-
that
we have
time
no
to do
time
that. Yep,
constraint.
certainly.
That's what
So
we're talking
we
about.
can adjust it, or address this when we have more info.
So
about
what
the
info
alternative.
are you getting so we can get it
I'm
and
not
look
getting
at
any.
it? So,
I'd
but what's
cancel the
the plan
contract right
then?
now.
We
But-
need info to make that decision.
Yeah, I mean,
You just said
You
don't-
need
you're
info
not
to make
sure.
that. I don't. I've already made up my mind.
Okay.
I don't think we get our money's worth.
I would like to see some kind of details about what, I mean, I've heard, yeah, they do this, that, and the other. It'd be nice to get something a little more concrete than
Maybe-
just general descriptions about we get this and that.
We
in
could have
terms
Greg
of-
Norman come and talk to us,
Sure.
you know?
That would be good.
Can tell us what he does and what he could do, I would think.
I think, Matt, did you not meet with him?
I did briefly.
Did he ever do a write-up or anything for you?
No,
Can we
Uh,
request that from him?
certainly.
Okay. Yeah, because I would like to see from their perspective what kind of value they feel they're providing us and give some
Mhm.
details behind it so we can make an intelligent decision.
And I think that was the tough part for him, was he listed off several things that they do, except every one of them was a service for the township, not for the village. And so I think I'm not asking the question of whether it's valuable for the township. That's not our concern. I've no doubt that their contract is. Our contract is not with him, it's with the township.
Yeah, could we do that? I mean, that's the other option. Could we just have a contract ourselves with him instead of through the township?
I'd feel
Is that a
more comfortable with that.
possibility?
It'd probably be the same price.
It's a question for him. I haven't heard anything from him suggesting that we couldn't. I'm not sure.
Have you asked
what
him that, though?
efficiency there is. I asked him about it. I'm not sure what their efficiency there is of us having the township manage that relationship for us. I don't know, because they won't talk to me, so I can't get those kind of
And
answers.
offers the services
Move
that
on
we
from
want for less than 13,000, we might be able to take whatever's left and put them towards other types of.
Yeah, the services we get right now, we could get for about $300 a year, or $300 in equipment, and the rest is free. So there's no question that. It's can they provide services to make it worth the taxpayer money, or what should be a taxpayer
And
benefit
then,
from
let's
that money.
say, what happens with the extra money? What else, if we could have a couple of items of where else that money could be spent that is
Right.
appropriate, I guess, for that.
Yeah, and that's, they say funding for local services, which is, of course, all these things are defined through litigation at some point. And so that'll be a research project for me for you, is to come up with. It doesn't sound like anyone else has any interest in taking up the research, so it sounds like that probably is gonna fall on me, and I will research it and find out and
But
come
it's-
back to you with a
it's
report.
Not our money, either way, whether we get it directly or, well, we do get it directly and then we send it to the township, or if we got it directly and we keep it. We're not gaining or losing.
Right.
It's
No.
just money's available. So my thought, I don't know which way to go, but when in doubt, I always say don't. So stay with what we know, and if we want more things for him to do.
Coverage.
then-
We can
then
give him a
We
list.
can ask him to do
Yeah.
that, and that's why I thought it might be beneficial if he came, so we could pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, because I don't think he knows some of the things that maybe we would like to have
Or,
covered.
or a few of us could sit down and talk with him if you don't want him,
Way better idea, because I wouldn't want him to just come to a meeting
Okay.
and
Be
answer
unprepared.
3 or 4 questions, when he could do that in a
Yep.
closed setting with persons of interest. In this case, I would certainly think
Alex.
Alex
Sure.
automatically,
Yeah.
and the village manager automatically, and then 1 or 2 other council members who might want to take part in shaping our video future.
Okay.
Our-
I would be interested.
Yeah, to add on
If-
to
Yeah,
what you were
yeah.
saying, Kay, though, I agree with you. It's like, this money it's not our budget money. It comes to us
Right.
for providing the services.
Right.
And the only thing I'm thinking about is, what can we do? Is there a way we can leverage it to get better or more complete services specific for the village, rather than paying the township and just getting what they're willing to
That's what
give
we're
us?
exploring, and I think it's worth it to at least look into it. And
Okay.
we're not under any big gun until November.
Right.
And then it's, well, what's that term?
Deadline.
Deadline. I was gonna say something or get off the pot, but.
Oh, yeah.
Tony,
no.
Tony wants to be on it too, so Matt, Alex, myself, and Tony.
Yes,
Does that work?
that's 3 council members, and that is the perfect
Okay.
number.
All right.
Let's do this, because I want to make that official. Because this is an agenda item, we can make a motion and form that group to get us some of those answers.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we form a committee consisting of Alex, Kay, Tony, and the village manager to follow up with Greg Norman about our cable franchise fees and what our options are moving forward.
Wonderful.
Support.
Okay, that has been moved and supported, and I think it's been discussed quite well. It's a committee, let's do a roll call, please.
Brooks,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Randazzo,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Nivell,
Yes.
Quisenberry.
Yes, that is a unanimous vote. Gets us past franchise fees, takes us to inspector fees. This is gonna be pretty much the same discussion we just had. It's gonna sound like a broken record, but, we did use the township. They have a guy, Jason, who's a part-time fireman, but he's also the full-time or part-time building inspector for the township. We've used his services. I've been made to understand when we did our budget, that we give the township $5,000 a year to have him provide those services for us. I don't know what the breakdown is how much per inspection he does. We just pay that, and that's what we get. I've come to find out that it's 8,000, it isn't 5,000. I'm not sure when it took a jump up. Or maybe it always was 8, and we just had it wrong.
No, it was 5 and it went up to 8.
I'm just gonna introduce it, and then I'll pass it along. So, we pay the township right now, we owe them for the past inspections, or at least, I think we do, it doesn't matter.
They haven't
Well, it does
requested
matter.
any payment for
The
anything.
point
so-
being is, do
We
we
owe them
wanna,
for last year,
do we wanna?
2024, we owe them.
They haven't requested anything, so I don't know.
Well,
Well,
then we'll figure that out
Yeah.
when the bills come. But the point being here is what are we gonna do moving forward?
Right.
Okay, we'll figure
Right.
out whatever the,
well, they need to get paid. I mean,
well, I agree,
Yeah.
but that's not what we're,
Oh, we don't know, it just says.
no,
yeah.
we'll
There's
pay.
no,
Don't
I
get me
don't
wrong.
have
Okay.
a contract or agreement or a request for anything,
Okay.
so I'm not sure what we're talking about. I
Right.
thought I have 6 copies of a letter from Jason Wilton about building inspector fees, but it sounds like you're in a different building inspector area than this is.
Well,
These must be,
Well, it was kind of all.
Cover it
your
all.
copies all
it
must
was-
be in my packet, because I have 6 copies of.
Oh,
for
yeah,
some
we don't
reason,
have
so
that.
I don't know.
Can we get a copy
This
of
is
it?
about the inspector fees. I'm not sure what, it sounds like you're discussing a building inspector's salary.
No.
Yeah, there's
no,
two
a
things that
bill.
What are we
were-
gonna do moving forward?
Yeah.
That's what we're
A
discussing.
bill, and then we can talk about that too. Thank you, no, we didn't have this.
Yeah, sorry, I just, like I said, there was a pile of 6 of them here, so there's not 7, so
Oh, this was-
one of you's
this
gonna
was-
miss out.
Okay, and this was
It's a letter from
presented
March.
prior.
That's what
Yeah,
was on the agenda, so I'm not sure this other thing we're talking about.
right.
Well, let's just frame it this way. The inspector fee and the franchise things are both tied together in the sense that
They are.
we have to decide soon, but not this minute. And I'm certain that we're not in a position to decide what we're gonna do within a building inspector.
Well, what are the options? We can't keep meeting and saying that, so.
Well, yeah, we can, because we gotta pay, or we gotta not pay.
Okay, now we're talking about a bill.
Building
Not- we're-
inspector.
Well-
Okay.
A bill.
A bill, okay,
Yes.
that's different than a building inspector.
Do you
No,
have a
it's
bill?
not, because it's what are we gonna do going forward? We'll figure out
Okay.
whether we owe money or not.
Okay.
And if we do, we do. We'll
Okay,
pay it.
right.
If we don't,
Pay it.
we won't.
Okay.
What are we gonna do going forward? And do we wanna use the township's building inspector and pay the $8,000 and move forward like we have? That's fine. Our other option is to do the same thing like we mentioned with the cable guy, and that's find our own. You know, we can subcontract with a building inspector from Holly or
Yeah.
Groveland or
And I did
Clarkston
send
or
an email
Goodrich.
to both you and the
we
village
can get a
manager.
price and we can know what we're gonna pay them, and if they agree to have a relationship with us, that's fine. But if it turns out that, you know what, like Jason Brumble said, they're way more expensive than you think.
Yes,
And
they are.
maybe-
Yep.
Maybe there's some sticker shock going on here, and I'm thinking, shit, we can get this done far less, when in fact,
No.
we can't.
No.
So
No,
if
we
we
can't.
can't, then we just pay it and move on.
Well, one question, if we're paying the township 8,000, are we also paying an additional inspector fee for everyone
I
on
don't
top
know.
of that?
I don't know.
Or-
That's not my understanding.
Yes, this is separate, this is totally 2 different things that apparently have been confused as to which one was on the agenda.
Okay,
We have contracted inspectors that we pay for going out to inspect.
For buildings.
There's a.
For mechanical and
Mechanical,
electrical.
plumbing, and
Yes.
HVAC.
Right, and plumbing,
A
yes,
building
thank you.
inspector's job is to oversee those
Yes.
sub
Right.
inspections, to look at the, they coordinate whether planning commission approved anything, they coordinate that the building's gonna be safe and built up to code, and then verify that it is, and then enter 2 or 3 times over the following years to make sure it remains safe, all those kind of things. So it's a totally separate function.
But the
This
building,
is just the rate that we pay people we contract with.
Yes.
As
For
far as I know,
mechanical,
we don't
electrical,
contract
and
with a building
plumbing.
inspector because your taxes pay for that service already, and we wouldn't pay
so
for it
this is
twice,
for other
obviously.
inspectors.
That's what I just said.
Correct.
mechanical.
The
say again what you
sub-inspectors.
just said, Matt,
And,
And plumbing.
it's already.
I said
all
that
paid
your
taxes.
operating taxes that go to the township pay for a building department, just like all of your neighbors who aren't in the village. And so you're already paying for that service. So apparently there's some discussion going on without me that's talking about we should be paying them a second time for that service. I don't know. Again, if the village refuses to speak to me and that they've made that clear, that they're not
The
going to talk
township,
about
not
these
the
things, I
village.
apologize.
Yeah,
The township.
please.
Their supervisor has made it abundantly clear that he's not willing to discuss things. And so here we're kind of stuck trying to figure this out by rumors. we don't have anything written down. I don't even have a request for this, so I can't tell you that the price went up.
It
I know
should-
that I looked in our history and there's been one payment made about 5 years ago. Can't tell if it was for this, but it's the only one that seems to fit. So we're just left grasping at straws. And so it sounds like the township has decided that this is not a service that their taxpayers are going to get because they live in the village, and it's now up to us apparently. And so we'll have to look at what that means and, what we have to do moving forward in order to provide that service. We do have the option of having state inspectors come in because we're being refused that service right now. The taxpayers are being refused that service. So in as much as we have a need, we did get our first building permit request today, since we were informed that the building inspector was told he's not allowed to speak with us anymore. So we're
If I
kind
could
of
address
at a
that
crossroads
part.
now.
In my, today when I was looking at the property and I had to talk to somebody about the tree, it was more a fire issue than a building issue, so that's what I got, Jason Wilton. And first of all, he expressed, he loves this community, he is here, he can take care of business quickly, where is, if you contract out, you gotta wait, for the day or whatever you set up for the contractor to come in. And he's always enjoyed working with the community. So, he certainly,
Yeah,
before we go out and,
The issue is not with him at all.
it is not,
yeah,
oh, it never
is
has
not.
been,
No.
but he's involved in the
I
issue.
know, unfortunately, that really is. He's caught in the middle.
And about the monies, what we were told, what he told me today was, back before Beth left, that she was looking at her past records. Now, I'm just saying, this is what he said. And for 2022, it was, we had $6,000 worth of permits pulled in the village. For 2023, it went up to 8,000. In 2024, it was 9,000. So they came up with this $8,000 figure. But I had not
They
really,
being Mr. Wilton and Ms. Voorhees came up with it?
I think it was their recommendation to the township. I'm not positive, but that's kind of the way I took it. What was I saying? Yeah, I was talking about, and they came up with the median figure, what they thought was the median figure. And he said it was kind of a wash. It's really not, unless I'm thinking wrong, and please help me understand if I'm not. If the people, the village people pay us the permit, they want us to, if we took the permits back and did those, that's what added the $3,000 on it, was 5,000. That's what added the 3,000. If we did our own, then we'd save $3,000. But then it's still gotta go over to here, because everything goes through the township. And this was an expedient thing that he thought would work well if they just came to the township and took care of all of that business, building
Paperwork.
business here, yes.
The paperwork.
Yes. So, but it's not really a wash if we didn't pay that, if we didn't pay any of it, you
Well,
know.
the question
It'd be our
is, I
money.
live in Brandon Township, and and I live in the village, and if I need a building thing done, I shouldn't, that township should cover that, if that's who's doing the building inspector. The
And that
the
was-
township has the building inspector. So I think that's
New
the
point
case that
today.
we're making is that, whether I live in the village or not in the village, it still is a township expense. And the township should just pay that expense and not be charging the village, in any way for an
Oh.
extra expense because I live in the village, because the township, you know what I'm saying?
Right, because
do.
you're, the
But the
operating.
township should be handling that for me because that's who handles it.
You're
and
saying
that's
you've
my
already paid it
township.
once.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's what
those-
she's saying.
Actually,
And
we're
that's not
asking
anything we
for
discussed earlier, so.
No, it's
that,
not.
you
This
know,
is
that
new
makes
stuff.
me-
I
Right,
think
and
that's a question,
The very
you know,
small
I
amount that
don't-
we're charging for a building fee is for our administrative side for, the above and beyond, our ordinances, our planning commission, the things that we have to do that are above and beyond what everyone else in the township would have to do.
So what does Amber do when it comes to this part?
What does Amber do?
What does she do?
I think she
When it
needs-
comes
So,
to, no,
if-
I want to hear it right from her.
Fine.
If a building permit application comes in,
Correct?
yeah, so she takes I don't even want to quote the fee, it's a very small number for our part, and then alerts Jason, as far as I know, that this has come in, this is the address. Whether they identify then if there's planning commission concerns, if there's any kind of variances or anything outside of the ordinary, and otherwise then Jason schedules
What
his,
paperwork does she do?
I couldn't tell you what
I
paperwork
thought she
she's
sent them
doing.
right over here.
I think she calls on their behalf, maybe she does tell them, come down to this office, that's an answer I'm not prepared to give right now. I can text her and see if she responds, but, my understanding is she calls and then their department does all that scheduling. We don't do that because that's their service. And so they schedule their guys, and when their guys go out, we pay them directly, so that, I'm not sure how the township does it. Again, if we could sit in a room and
We-
speak,
we-
we
we
might
write
be able
them
to
a
find these
separate
things
check.
out.
So the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing guys, Jason calls or Amber calls?
Jason calls them, schedules those.
Okay.
But we
And
pay
then
'em.
they submit to us that they went out and we pay them. So that's where we charge that small fee for, is to
Right.
cover those inspectors' pay. And then, it might be $10 or $20 of admin fee to cover planning commission research and time for Amber to do the work, is what our administrative part is of that. I don't have that breakdown. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared to discuss that, but.
So if we increase our pay for the inspectors by $15, would we have to increase what we're charging our residents for those inspection fees?
Most likely, yes. Yeah, that would be a
Well, I don't
pass
think
on.
we're talking about that right now. I mean,
Well, it's
we've got,
not
well, it is, but.
Yeah, so what's in front of you is a letter just talking about the fact that the cost has gone up, the market rate has gone up for those inspections. These guys don't, they drive a long way to come out and do all that, and we just want to recognize that they're being compensated fairly. I don't know that came from complaints. That largely came from the fact that the state requires now another inspection, and so they have to make a second visit, and we thought, okay, well, our understanding is all the municipalities have increased their rate of paying because the
this
state
is-
forced us into another inspection.
Yeah.
But that, again, these two issues have gotten confused a little bit because this is what we being the office has put forward. It sounds like something else has come forward as a building inspector fee
But we were
question,
trying
so.
to get more in line with the other communities doing the 40 to 55, because that's what inspectors are getting out there.
Right.
And so when Jason is calling them to say, hey, I got this, you know where we're gonna be on that list.
Right,
You
if
know,
we're paying
we
much
pay
less,
this
yeah.
and other places pay that. That's reality, that's how it works. And as far as the building inspector, Jason, we won't find a better deal. Planning Commission did, I don't know, 8 months, 10 months ago, I'm losing track of time, reach out to some other areas to find out what they pay their inspectors and how it works, and we won't get a better deal. But I also sent both of you, Ken and you, an email regarding a particular person. Did anyone call? Or reach out?
No, I read the email.
Well, good. Did you call and reach out? I was just curious about the cost.
Did
because
not.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter to me.
It might have for me.
No, That's great, that's right.
I-
Well, then why do I bother to send
I guess
emails?
that's a better question, I guess. I don't know. We will
Yeah.
find a building inspector, what we're deciding
And
right
we have
now.
one. I don't,
Okay,
we don't need to
then-
find a
then
building
We can just move right
inspector.
on. This is on the agenda because we talked about it with the supervisor. And I had some questions of him about how we are charged the rate and what the rate was. And so this was just for clarity or clarification, because if I didn't know what we were paying for, I'm pretty sure nobody else at this board knew what we were paying for either.
Once
And-
again, why can't we just pay Jason when we use him?
I don't know,
Instead of
I don't know why
having
we
a
can't.
flat
We would
fee,
need
'cause-
to have a separate contract with
I
Jason.
think when we first did this, if I remember, rather than doing it that way, I think that they decided it was just better just to pay a lump sum
Yep.
and
For simplicity.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
based
so.
upon the
was
expected
easier
average
for
of
budget.
stuff.
So
It
my,
was easier
my
to-
understanding, again, my understanding is limited to what I can find out because
Right.
the supervisor continues to refuse to talk.
Okay,
If
we understand that.
But
he is a salaried employee, he's not being paid by inspection. So he wouldn't be being
Right.
paid by inspection by us either.
Right.
His salary is part of the township
And that's why we
operating
had a
revenue.
flat
Right.
yearly fee.
Right.
And some years, we probably used way more than that, and other years we didn't, and it didn't matter because it came out in the wash.
Maybe that's the case. That seems strange,
Well-
if that's the agreement. Like I said,
Okay.
we don't have an agreement, but
I'm
if
sure
that
our
were-
agreement is with the township, not with Jason Wilton per se.
Right, exactly.
He is just the, he's the body which is carrying out this function. So it's, go with the
His
township and their
salary is
$8,000 or
paid by
go.
your operating tax that you pay the township. So if we're paying him again, then that means that the village taxpayer is paying twice for the same service, which would be strange, and that'd be something to be great to discuss and learn more about and understand.
Well, there's,
The brick wall has continued to
I-
go.
Well, we
I
need
do
to
agree
figure
that-
it out.
there's
As a
We
20,
have to move
Township,
forward
yeah.
from all
There-
this.
there's-
We need to figure this out.
I do
Like you
have-
say, you got somebody needing something right now, so, you know,
Yeah, and, unfortunately,
What are we gonna
I
do?
guess we're being forced into
we're not gonna be forced
costing the
into anything.
taxpayers more again. We're kind of getting the short end on that. So if we have to build our own building department out, see what that looks like, and hire who we need to hire, we'll have to figure out how to fund that and how to do it. That's a challenge that lays in front of us.
You know, I do want to say something
It'll be
about
very
kind of the
expensive.
tone around this conversation, because I'm a little bit uncomfortable with us calling out things against the township supervisor or the township board without them here to give their side of the story. So I really would hope that we could maybe get some input and find out directly from the township board or supervisor somehow, rather than.
And the only reason I make those statements, Larry, is because we have asked those things very plainly of the whole crew. And we've gotten one person to respond, and that one
But
person
I've-
has
I've
said,
heard
no,
from
these
you
discussions
that
will not
this is
happen.
what's been said. I
Well, you've
don't
seen the
know
written
from
email.
Jason. I've seen the written emails. I
Right.
don't know if the township board feels the same, though, so, I
Right,
mean,
but
I
the
would
township
like
board
to
is not
get-
being allowed to speak to it. That's part of the problem, so.
We
Okay,
actually
well,
have a
Okay,
representative.
hold on,
let's
Larry.
move on.
First, though.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
Yeah, we gotta move on.
Yep.
well, we got to move on, but please, I would like you to come up here
Yeah,
and,
I haven't seen any of those emails, but it's okay.
You're on them. I'll send them to you again.
No, we had some of them, but
Mhm.
then we didn't have a chance to have a conversation, though. It's like we listed out all this stuff, but we never have met.
Right, because we were told, no, we will not meet about this. We will not
That's
discuss
why I
this.
said he met with the three of them, so if he had.
Well, that's news to me, so if anything came out of that, that'd be great. It doesn't sound like anything came out of that, but,
I'm not prepared
well, we have a
to
little
talk
more
about it.
knowledge,
I'm not
but,
prepared to talk about it today, but we got those emails and then nothing came out of it, so.
okay.
Can we just-
Thanks so much, and yes, I'll verify we did meet with the township supervisor last week. And on behalf of Kay and Melanie, I thought it was productive, so.
yes.
No, I mean, I just think that there needs to be more discussion about each thing.
There does.
Absolutely.
And this is on
Not ready
our
to vote.
agenda, and I was quite certain when it came up, just like the other one, we're not under any gun up here to decide in the next 48 hours who's gonna be doing this stuff for us, but it's food for thought, and it gives us all a place where we each know what's in front of us when it comes to building inspectors. We don't have all our answers yet, but we certainly have plenty of questions. And I'm just gonna ask that this get tabled till next month. And hopefully,
I will say one other thing.
yes, you may.
So the issue with us as a board, because of the Open Meetings Act, we can't respond to that email when it's all of our board members.
Right.
So that's why the discussion cannot happen through email.
Right.
It has to
Yes,
happen open meeting.
Right,
And
yeah.
that's why I said nothing.
This is exactly what's been requested
But
for
no,
7
saying
months.
that none of us responded,
And-
and I'm
That's
thinking
why,
that
yeah.
everybody should have, because we're not supposed to have any of that discussion.
That's correct.
So
And that's why none of us respond either.
that's a glitch that will
Yeah.
be,
So that's part of the issue is.
Yes.
And it's-
Happen there.
it-
We want
that's-
to work with you guys, we want to figure this out.
Dana, that's very well noted.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
That's a shocking revelation if that's true. I have no doubt that you do.
I make a
because-
motion that
Sure,
we,
Dana just said they can't do.
Hold on, there's a motion on the table. I'll have to interrupt you.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I make a motion to table the inspector fee until next month.
Support?
Further discussion? There is none. Those in favor of tabling this till next month, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? This issue, the building inspector issue, is tabled till next month. We're looking for some answers specifically what the per price fee is, and just basically what are our options, knowing that we can just stick with the township, pay $8,000 and get the good service they provide for
Increase
us.
the 15 or whatever.
Okay, intergovernmental.
Did we vote yet?
Let's
All
move
the-
on.
all in favor?
We just already did the
We
motion.
already
and we
did,
yeah.
okay, that one's good. Intergovernmental agreement, this falls right into that same category of those other three items. When Kay, Melanie, and I met with the township supervisor, those were the three items we discussed: the franchise fees, the inspector fees, and the intergovernmental agreement. Because we aren't official members of the board, we could not decide upon anything, or at least vote on anything. However, we could discuss it, and we did. And I'm of the opinion that that can be tabled as well, because there is really nothing to decide on at this point.
Make a motion to table the intergovernmental agreement till next meeting.
Support?
Okay, moved and supported. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's gonna be tabled.
Oh,
Just,
did you have something?
No, I just oppose tabling
Okay.
it.
oh, gosh,
What happened?
he opposed and
Yeah, nothing happened. He just
ready-
opposed.
Oh,
Ready-
I didn't know
That
she
one.
did that.
No.
Well,
Thanks for
opposed.
joining you there, Alex. This could go down 5-2, and I'll be on your side. The reason being, I don't even know that when this comes up next month, that we're gonna be further along than we are right now. That's the bad part about deals like this, is they just don't seem to.
Well, we do need one
we'll
clarification.
see. We
do.
That is, I mean, the main one is it covered already in our township taxes? That's, to me, that's my main issue at this point.
Okay.
Well, I know I've expressed this before, and I'm gonna say it formally during the council meeting. I think, considering some of the difficulties we've been having and hearing from Dana saying that the board would like to work with this, I would like to see if there's some way that we could work out some kind of just a joint workshop just to go over the various topics, because I think it'd be beneficial if our boards got together and we could try to clear some of the air and kind of establish a more cordial working relationship with the township, because I think it's really important that our communities work together.
So do we.
We all think that though, Larry.
And those attempts have been made for about 7 months now.
That was
And
one of our
that was
first
all we've
thoughts.
ever asked for, was can we just put a few people from each side in a room and just discuss, here's the places we have overlying responsibilities. We were told we have no overlying obligations, your property, your problem, my people will not talk about this, and that was reinforced in email replies, that this is not a conversation we're gonna have. I will not spend taxpayer money on having a workshop, I won't pay people to be there.
Well, I have a feeling that maybe the communication between, that's been happening may not have gotten through to the board. I don't know if this was ever brought up to the township as a possibility, to the board itself, but it's something
Right.
that if it's not getting through that we have a desire to do this, then it could be that we're being blocked, but maybe there's not full agreement from the township board that this is what they want or not want.
So, it sounds like some of you guys have talked to them. Have you guys been able to ask them for the contracts that we all share together? Can I see the contracts that we all share? Next time you guys talk to them, can you ask them if we can see the contracts?
Oh, you're,
I
Penny's
have the cable
talking to you.
contract,
Okay.
yes, everybody does. I think.
well,
that
he
went
wants to see it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it actually got sent to you, but
Okay.
no problem, I'll get that. I don't have the inspector contract. I don't even know
Sure.
if there even was one, other
Well,
than
he
maybe.
did show us one. He
Yeah,
did
there
show us
was-
one. We
For
didn't
the
get a copy
inspector?
of it,
I
yeah.
remember.
Okay,
finding out, but I don't
it exists, that's
think
fine.
so.
But yes, obviously.
I just wanna make sure we see those.
You
that's
can
all.
and should have all those
I can see
copies.
those. Thank-
All right, are we at new business?
Well, we're at new business. We're done with intergovernmental agreements. On to 11, new business. Special event homecoming parade. They've probably done this every year since Brandon had a school. Or ever since they had homecoming, they have a parade and they go through the village with the marching band and some floats and some king and queen candidates, all dressed up in fancy cars and convertibles. And it's a nice event for the village. I enjoy watching it every single year. They have a permit, and I suggest we approve it.
I make a motion to approve the special event homecoming parade permit as presented.
I second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? I want to make sure I see everybody at that parade that day. It's just a
Be on my
fun,
porch.
Okay.
it's just a fun day in Ortonville. They're coming down the town, the band's playing, kids are in, all dressed up. Crossman Park. My friend and neighbor Linda knows quite a bit about this topic, and I would like her to explain this to me.
Well, I hope you all just read the, I kind of gave a little summary of what I've been working on. I've just been, basically, I spent time with my daughter in Iowa, and there was a cute little pocket park that her 18-month-old daughter could play on without us hovering and worrying about whether she would climb into something she couldn't handle. And I thought, wow, I wish we had something small like that at Crossman Park. And there has been a need to update Crossman Park for some years. So that was my, unfortunately, I got kind of like focused in on, I'm gonna get this piece of equipment, and that's where we're gonna start. So I've been, since then, talking to different playscape people, talking to people when they're in the park. Excuse me, can I chat with you about what your kids like, what you don't like? Doing a lot of just research by being out and about with children and seeing what they like. I put a proposal together to bring this small piece of equipment in. It is a niche that is not really out there. There are some that are attached, sometimes they're freestanding, but very few are freestanding for that young of a child. And if you do notice that the cost for the poured-in surface is pretty high, but for children that young, they still put things in their mouth, and I thought it would be best, and they still don't walk that steady, so I thought that would be best for, in this case, the structure itself is not out of a reasonable price, that it would be beneficial to spend that extra money on a surface specifically for small children. Since then, I've also met with, I've forgotten her name now, Stephanie Olowski. She is on the DDA, and it occurred to me that the proposal we got from F&B was not really workable, unfortunately. And so I talked to her, because she does landscaping, and said, hey, can we put together a proposal? She did. I was going to include what she sketched up. I had a hard time printing it. There were a few things I couldn't really see exactly what she had planned, but she threw it together really quickly before she went on vacation, and she will work with us free of charge. She said the only thing she would charge us is if we decided we wanted her to find someone to install the equipment, we'd pay those people to install it, she would not. So she's very, very excited and willing to work with us, so I will be working with her and coming up with a picture of exactly what we're going to add as we go. We're still in the beginning stages. I may have had a little misunderstanding of what we were budgeting for equipment for that park. I thought that we had been setting money aside every year so that we would have about 75 grand for that.
Oh.
And I'm not sure exactly what we have there, but I propose if we could spend up to this $45,000, hopefully the cost of installation, which is 18,000 something, we can cut that dramatically by using our DPW, or if necessary, somebody Stephanie knows that may be less expensive. But I would like to move ahead with the structure, order it. It's a 6 to 7 week before we get it in. And I also think it would be beneficial to, even though they have younger than, they have a few toddlers at the daycare that they just opened on South Street, where the daycare put a little annex building there. They have a few kids that could climb on that and explore.
You did a great job. I mean, this is
Yeah.
just what you were
Well,
talking
do
about.
we
from the
need a
get-go.
motion before we talk, or?
I would like to make a motion, again, I don't know how, I don't know what dollar amount to approve, but to be able to move forward with game time and get this structure in Crossman Park.
Okay, Linda, well, if it's just a motion to move forward, we would do that no matter what. And we can certainly vote on moving forward. But if we don't know the amount, we can't approve it.
Well, I would like to spend the 10,000 and the 17,750, so if you just take that, I didn't write it up, what amount is that?
27.
And then there's a
And I was
discount as
under the
well.
impression it was only going to be 10,000 when I spoke with the village manager, so that's why I wanted a motion so we can talk about this.
I would.
There's a motion, is there support?
Support.
Okay, moved, supported. On to discussion, Linda,
What
go ahead.
was the motion?
To,
Move forward.
To move forward?
yes.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, some discussion. If you're saying it takes 6 to 7 weeks to order it, get it in, we are not even talking about starting installation until, let's see, it's
Next year.
July,
Yeah.
okay. September.
Spring.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to put in spring. So is there an urgency to order it right now, or can we maybe
I
get
think we
some
could
more-
get it, I mean, I think again, the surface, I don't know. I would like to get the surface in, it is a little tight to whether we could get the surface in. We could get the
Yeah,
structure
but I mean,
in.
is it gonna actually get used in November, December by really young toddlers at that point?
No, but next year it could be, 20,000.
You know, it depends how warm it is. I take my grandkids over there every time they come over. Again, we table it, and then when do we start in the spring?
I'd like to see an actual layout, and this is something that, and I talked with Matt about this earlier. These projects are ones that we need to put into the CIP, and then we plan them, but then that way, you have a certain amount of money that you know will be
And
going to
and
Crossman.
that was my understanding, that was what was going on from talking to Ryan
Oh,
Mattis.
okay.
And that's why I had been waiting, because he said in '25.
We still have not finished.
In 2025, you can
Heritage
begin.
Garden, we have Naren, but the Heritage Garden, I mean, I don't even know how many years ago now that I worked on that.
Well, and that's why-
And wayfinding, but all the parks are lumped into one, and it all has to be split amongst what's going on. And that's why I want to have a priority workshop, because we have to finish a project. We can't keep jumping from project to project to project. And I love doing Crossman Park. I'm all for it. It just, let's finish then Heritage and the wayfinding.
Well,
Let's finish something.
I disagree that we have to finish Heritage, because again, I think that this Crossman Park is something that some lady came in over a year ago and said that, this park needs to be updated. It's looked like this for over 40 years. The equipment is dangerous. Where I want to put the structure, luckily, the big spinny yellow bug broke, and they gave us a perfect spot to put it.
So when
I
will we
think
have a
6
layout of,
Again,
Crossman?
I do have Stephanie put in a rough layout, but it is not, again, there's some areas where I didn't understand what she was saying, and she had
have
gone
it?
on vacation.
Oh,
so
okay.
I couldn't follow up with her.
so at the next
but
meeting we could get that?
Yes, we will have more information, because Stephanie is very eager to work with me on this. But this piece of equipment could be put in right next to the little baby swings, and so you can be there, and it's all the same age. 6 to 7 weeks, if we order this immediately,
I'm not
we
prepared to
still
do that.
have
No way.
mid-October. I think we can get it in. I think there is playtime in.
So out of the 100,000 in the parks budget, you wanted to move forward using all 100,000?
Well, I did not realize that was
Yeah.
also earmarked for the other one, so.
Then 86,000 of that is Oakland County. Matt, can you please?
86,000.
Yeah, we took a disbursement on a loan for Heritage Park. I think about 20,000 is left, and I think what Trustee Brooks is recommending here is somewhere between 16 and 17, because the play piece, which would be replacing immediately 3 that we've lost to being broken, hopelessly broken in the last year. It's 10,000 for the piece, $1,000 for shipping. We can do the installation, and this pour-in-place rubber flooring they make in tiles that you can install yourself. That's what they have at the Hadley one, and it's about $5,500 for that versus the 17 whatever. I just looked that up. I knew that was an option. And so if we're talking about 16 or 17, and we're talking about a long-term phase where we draw out the park and it works into the CIP, where we obviously have other needs that are continuing on, this is more of a discussion of what do we do with the funds that we allocated for this purpose this year. And I think it fits right within it, or very close enough that we might have to move a few $100 from somewhere else, but not a lot. So that's how I see this.
And what was that dollar amount that was allocated? That fits so perfect?
I want to say it was about 105 total, 86 of that is Heritage Park. And so there's about 20, 19 and some change, and I think this would be between 16 and 17. So, barring some, unforeseen bigger expense, especially given the fact that we've had Ms. Solowski volunteer services, and knowing that she's networked with other people who would volunteer and help with services, largely is stuff that our DPW can do, and so.
So the 86,000 that are Oakland County, so that budget's gonna look very different next year, right? Tell us how that's working exactly, this disbursement you took, or whoever took.
Yeah, so that was an interlocal agreement where Main Street America is giving us, I want to say the number's like 112 total to go toward Heritage Park. They gave us the first 75, 78, whatever the number is. I'm sorry, I don't have that exactly in my head, but they gave that up front so that we could start engaging architectural engineers to draw and build the structure that is, you're going to hear about in my manager's report. I can tell you right now, we got quotes in, we got some samples in, and we're doing interviews of those who submitted quotes, and I was going to ask if any of you'd be interested in sitting in on those for the structure that's going to be the phase one of moving Heritage Park forward finally, moving it from a drawing and a dream to now we're going to have something in the ground. The goal all along has been to break ground before it freezes.
Which structure is this in the park?
Yeah, so we have renderings for it. The original rendering, it's like a stage,
It's supposed to
whether
be in
you
the
call
back.
it an amphitheater or whatever you want to call it, with a bathroom and a storage closet in it. And so we requested 3 quotes. One ended up backing out because it was too small of a project for them after they really looked into it. The other 2 have presented us with some sketches and some ideas about, so that's moving along. Matt and I are working on that together as a joint village and DDA venture that we've been working on for some number of years. You all are familiar with the Heritage Park kind of plan. So that is what
So you're saying we would
I
have
wish I had
money
the
for
dollar amount
both,
off
it
my
looks like?
I
this
believe
year?
so, in this capacity of somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 to 20,000, we did have in the budget that you all approved.
Yeah, but you
And
mentioned.
so if we can make this fit in there, and that's the way you want to allocate and expend those dollars to have something moving in that park as well, I think that's kind of the question
You
before you.
mentioned about using some tiles instead of the pour in place. What's the difference in terms of the longevity, the durability? And
Yeah,
all
so
that
it's
between
actually the
tiles
same
and
material.
tiles?
It's just whether they come out with a truck and special to pour it so that it's perfectly shaped and has no seams, or if you go out to the park at Hadley, you'll see they have the tiles and they're pressed together, so they're like interlocking, right? I heard that it's been very easy to maintain and they haven't had to do much as far as pressing them back together, that they stick together pretty well. I don't know the timeline of how long it's been out there, but it has the same quotes about durability. And so they have 2 different depths. One is for a 4-foot fall protection, one's for a 5-foot fall protection, and you decide a few $100s more to go for the thicker one or the thinner one. But
Do you know
they-
who did the townships? Who
I don't.
installed
I haven't
that?
been able to get that answer. I did ask John, but he wasn't sure off the top of his head. He was gonna look. I'll follow up with him tomorrow
And I
about
can
that.
follow up with Stephanie too. She said she had a lot of resources also to offer us, which I thought was wonderful.
I do have a question since I haven't been talking. Matt mentioned Heritage Park. How many bids did you have for that? 3?
How many what?
How many bids?
Yeah, we took
3?
3, but only 2 actually got to presentation.
So are there other bids for this stuff?
I did, and I apologize for not including that. I did go to another, I can pass it through. This is the actual project I wanted. I got a bid for that, and it was, $22,000 for that structure. And so this was, much more reasonable and seemed to have, about the same.
And
Again,
because we're gonna
con-
do most of this work ourselves, this is really a decision to purchase a piece of equipment, not.
That's what I would
We're
like
not
to
really requesting the whole project be done, and we searched a lot of places for pieces of equipment, and this was probably the most reasonable one. There's a couple other options, but as far as bang for your buck, this was the best one we were able to identify. We did lean on a resource I have over at Oxford Parks and Rec, who strongly recommended these people, who we actually were already looking at, which was good to know. He just put in a new playground out at Seymour Lake Township Park and. or
Because
Seymour
we
Lake Park.
could use, I mean, we certainly could apply for grants, and
And
even the
again-
CDBG,
Mhm.
if we decided to allocate to offset some of this, I don't want to deplete totally all the monies, and it's my personal opinion, that we have in the parks budget. I don't want to deplete it all. And then next year, we get another tranche of 70, is that what happens for Heritage?
The Heritage will be the remainder, so it's
Okay.
probably 30-ish, less than 30.
Gotcha. And
It's
at
the
that
remainder of their
point,
commitment,
yeah.
and then our commitment is the others, the remainder of it. It was a matching grant.
So we have to come up with that then, or do we have that in the budget now?
There's some of it in the budget now, but it's mostly in next year's budget. So the 3-year budget we had most of those expenditures in fiscal year '27, because that's when, so the dollars coming from the county have to be spent next fall. And
Okay.
so that's where it made sense to kind of allocate it, because we knew we wouldn't be doing much of it before June, realistically, kind of the path that we've been on, so. I wish I
think
had the
that's
budget in
where,
front
I
of me,
mean,
but I
we've
don't.
looked, and there are some grants, I know that as
Mm-hmm.
I looked into some grants, the problem is we are not putting in a $1.2 million park like F&B asked us to, or that they designed. And it's harder to get small grants, but I think there are some places out there to get small grants. We've talked to the Lions Club. I do think there are some community organizations that will help us with this. But I wanted to get that first piece, again, I said, I do apologize, I got very laser focused, because I think this is a niche that will bring people to Ortonville, because my kids were looking, I don't know where to take my kid that they can play when they're 18 months and 20, this is 6 to 23 months. And those structures are hard to find. So I think that's why I'm anxious to get this in, and I'm also anxious to get some of the dangerous equipment removed. And I will work with Stephanie, and I can provide, more diagrams. I don't know if we'd need to do that at every meeting to show you our progress, or if I just
We need to
share it with
approve
you.
a layout to begin with. The council needs to approve a diagram, and that we are going forward with that plan. And generally, but because Stephanie is offering services free.
Right.
Generally, it is a 3-bid, and then we select from that. So it just seems to be a little different, I'm not sure, but.
Well, this was, I happened to mention, we had these pieces of equipment get broken and decided, are we gonna replace them or not? And that's really where this discussion was are we gonna replace that? And if we replace it, what's the next most sensible thing to get? And that's where Linda's Heart for the Smaller Kids came out, and we said, well, maybe this is the direction we need to go. And again, because we're doing most of the work, we're doing the installation, I don't think this would
Well, that
require us to
doesn't
get any
show that on here,
request for
though.
production. Right, she was showing you the kind of the full-blown amount on
Right.
what is the cheapest piece we could find. And then I just wanted to articulate the fact that we can find some savings in there even. And at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, we have to pay for everything, we do have the money to cover it, but I do anticipate, there's at least 2 community organizations who've already expressed an interest in being supportive, and so, we'd have to, obviously, we have to get those hard details. My thought on Linda's timeline is, if we ordered it, we'd have 6 weeks, 7 weeks to present you at the next meeting with the plan, and the installation wouldn't start until we agreed this is where it's going.
So where would the actual equipment sit? What storage area would it be sitting until we?
Yeah,
Approve
ideally,
it
it
and
wouldn't.
put
We would,
the-
we would approve that in time to install it when it comes, but it's not, it doesn't take up a
Okay.
whole lot of room. We do have storage space if need be,
Okay.
but that's a valid question. If we don't have a drawing in the next month to show you at the next meeting, yeah, we would probably have to store it. And
So just to clarify in my mind,
Mhm.
what we really need to do to start moving forward, according to Linda's plan, is essentially call it
$15,000.
$11,000 to cover the cost of ordering the unit
and having it shipped, yeah.
And then the rest of it, whether we install it, our own pads, or whether we do the pour in place and all that stuff, that could be decided with a proposal at the next meeting. We don't have to
Right.
do anything more than just that
Right.
equipment for 10,000 plus shipping.
Right, and so I think in its simplest form, that's the question before you is,
Yeah.
do we want to replace the equipment
Do
that,
we
You
want
make
to
that
a
order
went?
that piece of
Yeah.
equipment?
You gonna make a motion to order that piece then?
Oh, I thought there was a motion on the floor, wasn't there?
Yeah,
To
this
move
is
I made a
forward.
motion to order the,
Move
to move
But we,
forward
I'm, yeah.
and to order this piece of equipment.
Well, I'm going to then make
Can you-
another motion
Can
then.
you read back the motion that?
Who made
We
the
gotta-
motion?
We'll adjust, we
Yeah.
gotta take them one motion at a time.
Yeah,
Who made the
Let's-
motion, Linda?
yeah, I made the motion to move forward, and I didn't know what dollar amount to
Right.
put on it, but I
Okay.
do want to purchase this piece of equipment.
Okay,
Let's
so
vote on the
would
first
you,
one first, then.
can you change your motion, or if not, we can vote on it with up
I can
to
change it.
11,000
I make a motion that we move forward with the
for just this piece of equipment?
purchase of this structure from Game Time called Small Feats, with a cost not to exceed, can I say 12,000?
Yeah.
Give me a
Say
little
whatever you
cushion.
want.
11088908 if they honor it, yeah.
Support.
Ooh. I'm sorry, who supported?
Alex.
Was there support for that motion?
Yes.
Alex did.
Okay, Alex did. Roll call vote.
Green,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Randazzo,
No.
Fokker,
Yes.
Nivelt,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
and Quisenberry.
No. Motion passes 5-2. Next is smart credit. I think we heard a
Or
little bit
Fay.
about,
Yeah.
Another thing I
Sorry,
have 7
Faye.
copies of,
There's
so.
waiting
we
on us.
we heard a little bit about that
It's last year's
earlier,
distribution.
but now we can actually tackle this issue.
How do we not have these in the packet?
I don't know, I just had 7 of them
It was
piled
in
in
the
front of me, so. Oh, was it?
In the electronic one?
Can I say something before we start?
Yes, you
This
may.
was not in the paper packet.
Before we begin,
Yeah,
Councilmember,
it is in
Electronic, but
Yes.
not in
That's it.
paper. That's why
Councilmember
she had-
Oh, it was.
Randazzo would like to
Mine.
say something, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted on the record, because I am an employee of Phase for the township, just want to make sure if I should recuse myself from the vote of the smart credits.
I don't think,
Probably.
well, you're shaking your head, yes, Melanie,
I think so. He's an employee.
but he doesn't.
Stands to
He
benefit,
doesn't
yeah.
make these rules.
Now, just for the record also, and this can be checked later on, last year I made the same statement, and everybody agreed that it was okay for me to vote, so.
I thought
just
so,
wanna
too.
put that
Yeah,
out there.
I feel, if you feel that you can be impartial.
It's not a conflict of
put your
interest,
hat on
really.
as council member, and I don't see where there's a direct benefit to you.
I don't
No,
either.
but if he chooses not to, he chooses not to, and that's fine.
Right, but he
It's up
Okay,
to
chose
you.
to.
but he did choose not to. And he's asking to not have to vote on this because he doesn't want to be.
No, I just want to make sure everybody is okay if I vote on it.
Right.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
that's
okay
what-
if you
that's
vote or
what
don't
I-
vote.
That's what I want to
No,
make sure.
absolutely.
That, yeah.
You get to make your own choice.
Okay, so I do want to make one of the reasons for recusal is business or employment ties. You have a current or recent business relationship with or are employed by a private entity involved in the matter, which I do not know, and direct financial interest if you have investments in it, but
Not private, no.
just on the record, but,
There's no
I'm good.
financial
I'm-
benefit for it,
all right.
so. No, but you're correct, that is one of the reasons.
Okay, what is there actually to vote on for this thing?
And actually,
No.
this piece was not in our packet. The 2026 one is, looks like last year.
Yeah, that was, Amber printed those today for extra color, I think, just to give you an example of what it looked like last year.
Okay.
This was filled.
Well, let's hear from Faye, see what she has to say.
Can I make a motion first, and then we can discuss?
Yes.
I make a motion that we move our 1292 in credits to the, are we moving them to the township in order to continue with SMART?
Support.
Okay, any discussion on that motion? And I don't even know what that motion was.
We're going to approve this.
That we're gonna.
We're gonna approve this thing.
Yeah.
It
That
came
was
out
the-
a lot fancier than that. That's why, I'm thinking, gosh, did I get all that? Okay,
I don't think I can remember.
It's
Yeah.
a municipal and community credit agreement.
okay.
Or smart.
There was a motion, I believe there was support. Further discussion, does anybody,
Yes, we wanted to hear from Faye, right?
well, I
Okay.
want the board to discuss it first.
Oh,
And
I
then-
thought she called on Kay already.
I called on
Or
Kay to come up
called
and
on
just,
Faye, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You called on Faye to come up
Well,
and
she's
talk.
standing there while we're doing all this other stuff.
well, that's
Okay,
because I
I've
wasn't
sat
clear
for
what
a
I was.
while, so I'm good standing for a while.
I guess, do you have anything to add before we vote?
I just know that you had said
questions.
somebody
You said
had
you
some
had questions.
questions.
I'm not gonna get an answer here anyway, so I'm
Don't
not gonna
have any
ask it.
questions?
I don't have any questions.
I
No?
do.
Okay.
What I had asked earlier about the, and now I can't find it because God only knows here. The smart credits. So do we pay Transit Authority through Oakland County. And then we also are paying into this in your budget, correct? For smart.
So when you say you're paying into the transit authority.
Yes, we all got that millage of the
Okay,
transit.
so,
Yes,
so it's being collected as taxes.
yes.
And all of that money is being given to NODA and WODA.
And
We
that's
get
to service us out here.
We get nothing.
No, we get their service.
No, money-wise, we don't get any of that money.
No, we
for-
get the service. We can call them and be taken to wherever we need to. The service is there.
No, not wherever you
We are
need to.
paying for it.
Not wherever you need to.
And you may have to pay a fee, too.
Oh, you definitely have to
Well,
pay a
it's
fee.
like $2.
You don't
Yeah.
get,
Guys,
you
unless you
don't,
know what you're talking, let Faye
you don't,
finish. She's
you
been
do
doing
not
this.
get on that bus unless you pay.
It's about like $2.
Each way, and
But-
for each stop. And, yes, and when you say they'll take us wherever we want, that's not true. Their boundaries are M15 for NODA, M15 and Square Lake Road. They will not cross county lines. And they will not cross over into Groveland Township because that is governed by WODA. So if you've got somebody that needs to go to Genesis Hospital to see their doctor, if you're going to go with NODA, they will stop. And then you have to have a connector bus from WODA. And then you have to do the same thing coming back.
See, and I thought NODA was going to do that, like WODA, when we went to the initial meetings for that was the issue I brought up, was the hospital at that meeting. And going, because that was now in Genesee County. But WODA said that they would figure it out, and they did. So NODA hasn't done that, because they said they would come to the table as well.
But WODA doesn't cross either. WODA doesn't come over here.
Over here.
Right.
They're
So
getting
it's
them-
no different than, WODA that's
Right,
Western.
but NODA will not do it. WODA will, but NODA won't.
No.
No, neither one will.
The services
Neither
that you
one
guys
crosses.
offer, is there any borders or any limitation?
Yes. We do not go to Ann Arbor because there is no place to park.
Yeah,
No kidding.
I work in Ann Arbor,
But-
so yeah, I understand.
crazy.
But other than that, we have taken people to Detroit to the VA hospital. We've taken them to
Lapeer.
Lapeer. We don't have any limitations.
And if the current credits, if they, they are gonna expire? Is that, they're gonna go away if we do nothing? These current credits?
We have to do something.
No, I'm asking you guys to not give them to NODA, but to give them to the SMART program.
Thank you.
Divert the funding from one to another.
Correct.
Okay.
And you did that last year too. You
And
went,
the years before. And the years
I see
before.
smart buses
right.
everywhere. I
But
don't
that
see
was
motor buses.
before,
The only
Transit
thing,
Authority.
Alex, with the smart our buses at the center, well, let me rephrase that. The Edna Burton Senior Center buses are smart buses as well. The NODA and WODA buses are smart buses as well, but they are they're different than what they use. It's, I just want to make sure there's a clarification there.
Because Noda bus does look a lot like ours. You have to just look at the side. They have their emblem in their windows.
And
We
on
have
their
ours
hoods.
on the side.
I see him, but honestly, I've never seen him in the village.
No, there's one guy that likes to cruise around. Yeah.
And do you guys do the weekends as well?
No, we do not.
Okay, and NODA does do weekends.
Yes.
Moved and supported and discussed quite thoroughly. Roll call vote, please.
It's okay, we gotta
Eden?
get our questions answered.
Yes.
Randazzo,
Yes.
Fokker,
Yes.
Nivell,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Quisenberry.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Leads us to
See you
MDOT.
tomorrow.
MDOT resolution, this is on Narren Street, as everybody recalls, we had a sidewalk project a couple, 3 years ago. We had row engineers come out, they did some preliminary work, it turned out that was not feasible, at least for the amount of money that we had. We diverted the project from the Oakwood sidewalk, that was diverted because of the wetlands area and the cost to build a sidewalk through lowlands. We diverted that money to a project that was also ready to go on Narren Road, which is over by First Impressions Beauty Salon, Jet's Pizza. It's the little section of Narren between Mill Street and M15. It is in horrific shape, and we decided to divert our money because we had already spent money on engineering, that rather than lose all the money by abandoning the Oakwood sidewalk project, that we would just then transfer that over and get that section of Oakwood Road paved. That's what I call the Narren Road project. I thought it was good to go, but apparently it is not. So where are we at with this?
Yeah, we've brought it to you a couple times, and I sent out a email request that I didn't get enough responses from to know the board's decision on whether or not we're going to continue with it. Basically, at the end of the day, we can choose right now, moving forward, forgetting about everything we did in the past and whatever money's already invested in it. We can continue moving forward and spend somewhere between $77,000 and $92,000 additionally to do that stretch of Narren, or we can spend 12 with the paver who's doing the other paving. And that's kind of the question we're at. I can certainly go into more detail. We've covered this in quite a bit of detail in the past, but if anyone needs any refreshers more than that, that's the question I'm asking.
So nobody got back to you, or only a couple people got back to you?
One person did.
One person did. All right.
So I asked that question via email, but I just need to know, because I don't feel like I have the authority to act on your behalf to either back out or,
Well, I think
I
we,
suppose at this point, it has gone out for letting, so it's almost certainly not gonna happen till the spring, but it's out for letting right now, which means MDOT is starting to actually put work forward. And
Oh, well then, I thought we had a date, a drop dead date, and that's why you did the email, because you had to know. So,
I did.
do we have the choice to say no?
I think that if I call them tonight, if you tell me to, then I think we can still get out of it.
well, we'd be foolish to say we want to spend $80,000 or
Right.
$90,000 when we can spend, what did you say?
I think
12,000.
12,350
That's-
something was the
yeah.
quote.
Now, is
That's
that
my
for 2
opinion.
inch or 4 inch or how much?
It's
Because
2 inch, it's the same that we were
I think
gonna
that
get.
since that's a major offlet from
thought it was
M15,
4
it should be 4 inches.
Okay, so if we double it, it'd be about 25.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
If we did it
motion
4
that
inches
we
with MDOT, it
dissolve
would
the
be-
MDOT resolution on Narren Street.
Support?
Further discussion on Narren Street. Roll call vote to abandon our pursuit to pave Narren Street under the current structure.
Under MDOT, what my motion said.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do his.
Randazzo,
Yes.
Fokker,
Yes.
Nivell,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Hayden,
No.
and Quisenberry.
No. Okay, takes us past MDOT resolution to organizational structure of the village.
And what is that? Because I had no information.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
don't know.
I think we're about to get some.
All right. Who's leading us on that?
This was, actually, most of this has been discussed. This came out of a discussion between President Quisenberry and I. He asked me to add this on to talk about the structure of the village and the statements I was making about our building department versus the township building department, which we really, I think, have already covered.
Okay. Ooh, look at that.
Well, that
Are we
was
on
quick,
to F?
yeah.
I don't know if you wanted more on that. I know
No.
that was the
That's-
crux of what we wanted to make sure got covered. I know, so.
That's just something that
Thank
we're all aware of, and it's in the back of all our minds. We don't, we can't beat a dead horse more than we already have.
No.
Right.
Audit
I
change?
do have a question. If we're talking about organized structure, you're talking about staffing in general?
Job requirements of everybody, what their description is, what their,
Oh, well, that's a
Okay.
different thing.
Then
it's
I
the
think I
organizational
do
structure of the
have
village.
something I
It's
want
treasurer
to
versus,
Asked to be followed up on.
Yeah, that
I
would be
would
village
like to
office.
see, although, we've seen reasonable things happening with the way the finances, budgeting and financial things have been going on. I still would like to see some transition back to a formal treasurer instead of rolling that together with the village manager's position. I think that would
Oh,
be
yep.
protecting our village better.
I agree. If that's the kind of thing we're talking about, I agree.
Yep.
Also, I'd love to get the packets done on Wednesday afternoon like we have in our rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
Because right now, when we get them Thursday too late and the office is closed Friday, this asking questions on a Monday morning is not appropriate.
that was just a comment, right?
Yeah, I'd like to get back to our rules and
follow our
regs.
rules of procedure.
Yeah, that's
I mean, just to move this along, we were at an organizational, Larry had a question, and then you had a follow-up, so I think we're done with this one?
I don't know, are we?
I'm asking
I
if
mean, somebody
anybody's
want to
got
make a
anything else to
motion,
say
I
about
think
it.
he's asking, or are we
I
moving on?
don't, it doesn't sound, this was a discussion.
Okay, then there is no motion, and we can move past it. We're on to audit change, item F.
Yeah, so this is, we have talked at great length over the last year about the cleanup work and the prep work needed to be done for audit. I've made you all aware of the fact that our software, our BSNA software seems to be programmed improperly or have been used improperly to where we can't seem to get it to function the way it needs. When we put in transactions, they don't record correctly. They're mapping and posting to the wrong places, and it's really just a mess. And so, on recommendation from our auditor, I'm asking, Manor has several skills in-house, Manor Co-Sturgeon, our auditor. One of them is this BSNA, general ledger, updating, cleanup, audit prep, uniform chart of accounts, all the kind of stuff that goes into that process. Their recommendation is that we have them do that for us first over the next 2 months and move the audit back to an October, mid-October to late October timeframe and have another firm conduct the audit because they couldn't do both parts. This would, as I think I brought up several times, it would kind of get us to that rip off the Band-Aid point where we can reset up our general ledger to have appropriate uniform chart of accounts, to have accounts that we are actually using in the way they're actually being used, being much more transparent and simple. And this was, I was strongly pushed back against when I asked both BSNA and Manor if we could basically just start July 1 like we were a whole new customer and start with a new package. And they both believed that was not advisable,
No.
which is unfortunate, I think, because I really thought that was a better way. But
What do they want to charge us to do this?
yeah, so that's part of the question. So they got me a quote for the audit that was just shy of 20,000.
Oh, gosh.
And so, because it's an outside firm and the timing, and they have an agreement with us they don't charge us that much, obviously, because we've had a longer term deal with them, so their price is much better. But the money in the professional services line that we really underutilized last year, we did drop down, but there is still enough to cover it. So, we kind of knew that this audit would be more expensive. We know it would be more difficult because of the circumstances we have. And so it will be more expensive than,
The new audit, with the new a new company would be
Correct.
20,000?
yep, and then she just gave me an hourly wage scale for her team's time to do the audit prep. Largely,
That's
that
the
will be.
BSNA update, cleanup, fix up?
Correct. A lot of that will be, they'll come on site for a few hours, give Sue and I homework, basically. If these are the things you need to do, work through these tasks. And so we'll work through the tasks once they program the system to do them right and show us how
And
they
how
need
many-
to be done in order to correct things.
So
So
how
we'll be
much is
doing most of the
Hours
work.
did they
Training
think that
then.
would be?
Yeah, that, I don't have a,
I mean, couldn't even give you a
it's a,
ballpark?
Like 10
well, no,
hours?
because she hasn't seen it until she sees it and knows. And so it's a service contract, right? So it's an hourly thing, so we can always control whether we're going, here it's too much, or we can agree to a dollar amount.
I guess I'm asking because would it make more sense to go with a different firm to do the BSNA update and cleanup,
Potentially.
and then have our auditors just remain our auditors and do
Yeah,
that?
potentially. I don't think this is very common, so I don't know how many firms are prepared to do this stuff. I just don't know that, and I can ask that question for sure.
This just seems a little crazy.
Yeah, it
I-
really does.
It's odd. I don't understand why our BSNA program
Where's
of all
BSNA and all of this?
programs.
Have we had them come out?
Yes,
It's all user programmed, so it's how the
Yeah,
one
I
user
know.
who's had access to it for the last decade told it to do everything and record everything.
Matt, how many lines
And we
have you
can't
cleaned out of
reverse
that?
engineer it. I'm sorry?
The lines that you cleared out,
We identified 283 lines
That were
on
pretty much
the first
junk.
look that were just garbage and we can get rid of, but,
and
and that
that's,
is
that
part
was
of it.
affecting this too.
Yes,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that is, the Uniform Chart of Accounts is the state of Michigan basically, long story short, there's 4 sections to an account number, right? So there's the fund, which is our 101 fund, the department, which tells you, who expended the money, and then the account numbers are all uniform across the state. So you have wages is always the same, right? No matter what department it is, it's always the same. So anyway, it's supposed to all be uniform. Ours is not, but it's also wildly misutilized, I guess would be the best way to say it. I have found transactions that trying to reverse engineer why they would have gone into a line, why they're doing something that I just can't answer. And
I'm also thinking, what about BSNA? Could they just put in a new program for us?
that's what I asked for.
Oh,
I
okay.
said, could we just
Starting
start July
fresh.
1 as though we're a new municipality and just
Oh,
give us a
okay,
clean
that's-
slate?
All right.
The problem with that is twofold. One is that we are still server hosted, and they are working very hard to move everyone to cloud services. There is, at best, mixed reviews among the Treasury community about how functional the cloud service is from them, and so people who are not on it yet are reticent to move to it.
Sure.
So between our 14-year-old server that's hosting all those programs and the fact that we're one of the, I think we're in a minority of what they would call legacy communities who are still hosting it themselves. They're trying to get away from that whole thing. And so their push is, well, sure, if you move to the cloud, well, it's significantly more expensive. Part of the reason we host it ourselves is because it's
Right.
Less.
quite cheap that way. In fact, our
Until the 14-year-old server crashes.
Yeah,
well,
there's that, Larry.
that's
I'm
the
an IT guy, so I think about
14-year-old
those
server
things.
is an issue that we have really been pushing to get corrected, and that's part of my manager report
Ryan
is update
fixed
some stuff on
something
that too.
last year.
What, Mel?
All right, nothing on audit change to vote on, so we're gonna move past that.
I do need authorization to execute an agreement with them to move forward if we want to do it that way.
Well,
we
we don't
don't,
have all our
or-
questions answered.
We don't-
Yeah,
So the
can't
audit's
move forward with
20
something
and
where we don't know
BSNA, we
how.
don't know how much.
Right. The estimate, well, I don't even want, it's not fair for me to give an estimate. I think it'd be fair to say it'd be under 10 for that portion, but
And you say we have enough to cover this under where?
professional services, and I'm sorry I didn't bring a copy of the budget with me tonight, but professional services is where it normally comes from. Last year, we had budgeted 100,000 for that and only used about 20. This year, we budgeted significantly less, but
What do we, okay, we don't know what we have in there, okay.
I'm,
So up to amount of what? 30? Yeah, I know.
So what is our current contracted audit costs were?
It's, well, the baseline is just under 10,000. And then it depends on, you know, additional difficulties or time that's
So-
required. But that's what we paid last year. I want to say last year it was close to 11. The year before it was like 97 and some change.
So we're talking about audit being almost double.
Right.
If we go with somebody else.
We're talking about
I
all
think
in,
I-
it's
I
probably
think-
going to be significantly more than double to get it
I
all
think-
cleaned up and get it right.
I
That's,
like the concept of going with a different company for cleanup and keep them.
Me too.
It sounds like the only option.
I think that would be the,
And I guess I would want more concrete prices before I would
Yeah,
want to vote on it.
absolutely, we need some.
Well,
need
we can
something
vote, but I'm
definitive.
just saying that's the way I'm leaning.
Do you have to have that answer tonight?
if we're going to get it done within the time frame of the end of the year that's required by statute.
Boy, oh
yeah.
boy, I really
So-
don't like these deadlines that we get
Why
without
do we have so many
getting,
things come to us like it's a?
that we don't
high pressure
have
sales
enough
And we don't have all the information.
information? This is not, okay, and this was under where, you say, in the budget?
The primary line for it is
Operating
professional
supplies?
services.
Development, he said.
Professional development?
Professional services.
Services,
Professional
sorry.
services. All right, so what's the up to amount since
All
we're
right, so
guessing?
she just sent me another email this afternoon saying that she found another firm and it would be 12.5, including financial statement prep of 97.5.
Plus 97.5.
I wish that I had seen this before now, so I
Which
could
is-
ask
what's
for
that mean?
clarification, because she says it both ways, but
Matt, what were
And-
the numbers again?
What does that mean?
12.5.
she says 12.5, including financial statement prep, so that would be all with both phases.
Plus
And then
97.5.
after that puts or 97.50,
Or 97.50?
if I was to write. Sorry, I shouldn't be reading something.
No, we should have
Right.
that, those
And so,
numbers.
writing financials is at her hourly rate, which is what she gave me, which would give us enough time to get it done in that October timeframe. Yeah, so it looks like the first quote they got was that 20,000 number, and today she was able to get another quote that was obviously much better. So she's saying 12.5, either 12.5 or 22.2, depending on what she meant by that. She puts 12.5 altogether, so I
Right,
guess,
so you want a motion for an approval for 12.5 for your BSNA, and that's your training and audit?
that's what this email, that's how I read it, so hopefully that turns out to be a correct reading, and that would be a boon over the original quote for sure.
All right, well, I'll make a motion that we spend 12,500 towards our audit and BSNA training and updating of system.
It's technically audit prep, if you want to be.
Audit prep.
If you want to be,
I don't know if anyone's gonna support it,
Fanatical
but
about wording,
I'm making
sorry.
the motion. We can move on.
There it is. Kay, I know you didn't get a chance to hear, but Melanie made a motion, and it has yet to be supported.
just
What was the
It's to
motion?
approve 12,500 for audit and training.
And updating
Audit
BSNA
prep.
training, audit prep and training.
I support then.
And is the audit then gonna be?
Hey, guys, what-
Must be a separate issue.
Wait, we got a motion on the
Hey,
table, and
Please.
then we can talk.
Yeah,
And-
and we had support from here.
Oh,
You do or don't?
we do, okay.
Al
All right.
supported it.
Further comments on the change in auditors and the change in price?
I'm confused as to the 12,500 is,
Is that just the
12?
audit?
Is that
No, that's
BSNA
the audit.
updating cleanup?
12.5 is the audit and the prep. 97.5 is the audit alone, and then she could do the prep at her hourly rate, which she gave me her rate, but we don't have
Don't
a guess on
announce
hours.
that
That may save
online,
us money,
or-
depending on
So
how
she's
she,
saying that the audit prep and the audit together should not be more than 12,000.
that's what that
or
quote
whatever.
says, yes, 12.5.
Well,
So,
it's still around the 20,000 you mentioned.
It's less than.
well, way less,
It's-
12,000
plus
500 versus
No,
20,000.
not plus.
Not plus, okay.
Not plus, no,
It's
no,
just
no.
the, okay, that, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
and we're still paying for someone to come in and clean everything up and reset the
No.
BSNA?
No, that-
Oh, it's all inclusive.
It's
the
all
audit
of this that
and
we
the
talked
pro-
about.
All right.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
All right, further discussion? There is none. Roll call, please.
Randazzo,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Nivell,
Yes?
Brooks,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Hayden,
yes.
Quisenberry.
Yes. All right, you can move on with your plans for the audit. Next up is the manager's report, which is, continues on with our manager.
7 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna move much quicker than I originally planned, so I'm gonna just cover
You
the
don't have to.
handouts. The handouts I gave you first, you should have this CDBG
Yep.
PowerPoint presentation. So the CDBG, for just a quick refresher, is a federal grant of money that goes to the county, and the county gets to decide how it's gonna be dispersed. They have a whole rubric for how it's always been dispersed. We've gotten an automatic amount every year that it doesn't get refigured. Every municipality had its dollar amount. You got, part of it was earmarked for certain human services, and then the other part had some more freedom as to what it could be spent on. You all have voted each year as to how to expend those funds. The long and short, the short version of the two meetings we've now sat through on it is, one, the guaranteed amount is dropping significantly. About 60% of that is going away, and the other, that 60% now is a competitive bid amount. So they're gonna have basically a pool for the county. We'll get roughly $3,500 or $3,600 a year, no matter what we do, down from the $8,600 I think it was this year. Don't quote me on that, I apologize. The other side of it is now competitive bids. So we have until a certain date, which is about 20 days away, to give a notice of intent to apply. Then we have 2 months after that, or 3 months after that, to actually apply. And then it's a competitive process where they're gonna look at everyone's applications, wherever their rubric's gonna be. They didn't really have it articulated. I don't think they know yet. It's the group of the 5 people in that office who are gonna look at them all and decide who gets money. So, everyone's gonna be learning together how to apply for it. I did get the impression there'd be some communities who wouldn't be as interested in applying, so maybe that means we get a better chance to get some dollars that can really be helpful. Or maybe it doesn't, you know, I have no way to predict,
Is
but
there
we're
an
certainly going to.
Up to limit for
They-
requests?
They don't know until March. They predict the pool to be about $2.6 million that they get to
But
split up.
they're, well, and that's the thing, we can't ask for that, so it does, each municipality, you can ask for something up to
Yep.
100,000.
No, we can
There
ask for
is-
2.6 million. We could ask for
Okay.
5 million, and they could
Okay.
decide to do it over 3 years.
And it can be for parks and
We can-
sidewalks and all
right.
of that.
We can just tell them what we need, and so it is more inclusive of projects.
Yep.
Basically, if you can, well, I don't wanna go too simple, but really, if you can sell the public value, you're moving in the right direction. There's specific lines to hit.
Filling out a grant.
But, you know, infrastructure improvement, park improvement, those are certainly things that would fall into it.
Last year we got 8,000.
Yeah, the last,
Yeah.
as many years as I know, we've gotten
And we
between
used all that money?
82 and 86.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we-
so again, we've
we
always
could
been a
always
pass-through for
split
it.
You can split it in two.
Minimum
that's
Two
allocation,
separate, yeah.
We'd give half to CDR, to Bob McCarthy,
BGY.
BGY, yeah, and then the other half, council would decide each year what to put it on.
Right, and so now that portion that we've
People
been
like
giving to
OSAP.
BGYA, because they provide the right kind of services for that, is gonna shrink. And so I guess we would decide if we were to get anything else, would we help supplement that support? But now it's all an if.
Well,
And
the
so-
only reason we give 2 is because of the small amount that we currently have been getting. So if we
Right.
were to get something larger, we could anticipate.
Sure.
And we could maybe do more, but right now, yeah.
Yeah, and so that would all be part of that application process each year in December, that we say, these are the projects we're hoping to work on. They obviously, like any grant, they want it to be shovel-ready, so we have several projects that
Yes,
are
we
already
do.
in progress.
might be
that-
good for
Typically,
us.
we've gone
It might be.
towards community
It could be,
services
yeah.
like BGYA and OSAF,
Right,
because they provide services for our community, which are also covered in that.
correct. That's the human services part of it. So
Yes.
it's split in 2 portions.
then
And so
public.
that portion, which typically was around 4,000, is now gonna be 3,200 and some change, I think. And the rest of it, the other side of it, which really is what had more leeway as far as how we elected to forward those dollars, has now expanded, but also become 100% competitive. So we could certainly put together a great application and get 0,
Yep.
Yep.
We could be surprised and put together a great application and
Right.
get $1 million. I don't know. I don't think that's likely.
So what do you need from
Let's
us
put in
tonight?
towards
Do,
the-
This is just an educational
Okay.
update for you.
Yeah,
This
very
is this is a brand-new program. We found
Okay.
out about it shortly before the mandatory meeting. They tried to use the one mandatory meeting to roll it all out, and there was so many questions that they've
I
now
bet.
scheduled a whole bunch of other trainings for it.
so we don't have to decide what we'd like our
no.
application to be
No,
until.
in fact, they said it'll be at least March before they even know how much money they have, so.
But they're very
It's
deadlines.
changing to the way that they committed funds. So we will be
So you'll do the
applying,
notice
intent
of
to apply,
intent.
and we
Okay.
will, between now and December, bring back what our application is gonna look like, and I would welcome any support on that. My thought right now, the projects that are the most likely to qualify and are most shovel-ready, we have Heritage Park and Crossman, the paving and sidewalks, those all seem to fall under
Mm-hmm. I think paving
the
would be great.
project. And so, it'd be amazing if we could,
Get rid of that millage.
you know, do a lot of these improvements with federal dollars, but
I don't think
we all know the wisdom of holding your breath for it.
8,000 is
Right.
gonna go very far towards
Okay.
it.
No, it's up to anything, Larry. We can ask up to anything for
Right.
paving.
We're asking for the
Right.
2 million.
Right.
Yeah, well,
So that's just an update, that it is a dramatic change. It does have a lot of people somewhat, I would say, up in arms because it's hard to understand and it's significant, but just know that the next time we talk about it, the program will be a little bit different.
Are we allowed to do several different,
You can, you fill
Applications?
one application, you can put multiple projects on it.
oh,
I
okay,
wanna say it was either 3 or 5.
okay.
Is what they had space for, but I don't remember if you could supplement that with more lines or if that was actually a limit, so.
Okay.
That's a question we have to ask.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. You all have this zoning board of appeals handbook, which I found today is incredibly handy. It tells you as elected officials and members of the ZBA what your responsibilities are and what you should know and all those kind of things. We, as you know, we will have a ZBA meeting coming up, and it's the first one we've had in a year, so it'll be a good brush up for everybody. It'll be sometime in the next month, almost certainly, to the extent I have control over it, it'll be at our next regularly scheduled village council meeting, would be the next time we would consider that. But please take that for your educational purposes. You have a conference and education opportunities. I wanted to be better about giving you,
Where's that at?
Yeah.
Are there copies?
Yeah, I mean,
We do
I
not
thought
have
so.
that.
Did you hand those?
no.
I thought you brought those over and handed them
I
out.
saw that.
None of us do, Larry.
Okay.
No, none of us do.
Well, I'll be sharing it with you individually. I'll email it to you as well. It's
Okay.
just,
Okay.
just to show you what the calendar's like and all the invites we get. These I've sifted through already, and these are just the ones that would be worthwhile for me to go to. There's one that I want to send Sue to, and then there's a couple on here for you all. They call it the newly elected officials training, but I think it'd be great to go through every year. I will probably be attending one of those just because it's good for me to know too. I do have a tranche of resources where basically through either Dropbox or some kind of shared format, I'll be sharing with you kind of a quick at a glance, some of the elected officials training materials and different things that I find valuable for you. So
Well, I hope
that's,
that you have the next Semco General Assembly on your list.
it's one of the,
Really
it's
need
one
to
of the
have
9 conferences in October. So when we're talking about doing a workshop in October, I was going, she does have it.
Oh, thank you.
So
So council, then, are you asking then for us at the next meeting to approve which ones you can go to?
that's a bit of a moving target for me. So you all have approved a dollar amount for me to spend, which to me
What is-
means that there's a dollar amount I can spend. But if you want to be picking each one for me, that's fine too.
What
I
do you
just
think
wanted you-
the dollar amount is?
Did we put 12,000? I don't have the budget in front of me.
Well, to be honest, doing lots of out-of-state travel for things related to treasurer, though, I would
Yeah.
rather see that
Nope.
money spent doing things here within the state.
The only
things-
treasurer one is Mount Pleasant, which is in state.
Well, I was just looking at October BSNA conference, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep, that's not treasurer.
Okay,
BSNA
but
is for what?
BSNA, would be, and then,
BSNA is all of our, I mean, it's,
I guess,
that's accounting.
I would,
it's payroll and it's tax, which
Right.
have nothing to do with the treasurer. I mean, well, the tax does. Payroll doesn't. It's, okay, but either way, I'm not going to that
Pick them
one.
out, and you tell us what you'd like to go to, and then we'll tell you if that fits
Mm-hmm.
what we think.
What is this Tampa, Florida?
That's ICMA, which is the annual conference of municipal executives. So that's what MML plugs into in a national standpoint. That's one I hope to not have to go to. But
Well, that one's
You don't
close.
have
I
to.
can hope that
I
you
mean-
don't have to
Well,
go to
yeah.
that, too.
We'll
Me
make your
too.
dream come true.
Yeah, right now, take
Done,
that
you're not
off.
going.
understand that almost every training I went to last year was because one of you told me to go to it.
I
So
know,
here's your
but-
list.
That's, yeah, okay. No, and this is good. We appreciate this, so that way we're all on the same page.
This is just what I identified through today. I know there's several more, but these are the ones that are. There's also, I did handwrite, I forgot, October 9th and 10th is the municipal cannabis law, Michigan cannabis law, which
We don't need
is
that.
going to become a question for us again in the very near future.
Really?
The ballot initiative comes up for,
Yeah, about that.
we're coming up on the time when we're responsible to write our own ordinance now
Yes.
and change the language of the initiative.
Yeah.
So that's,
But planning commission that will be on our next
Commission will
agenda,
take
so,
care of
well,
and get it to us.
but
Correct.
that, yeah.
and we also have the need to open a application period. And so I've got to learn what that looks like.
Yep.
We're kind of in the time frame where at this point,
We're opening it up again because those two fell through, or why
yeah,
are
because we
opening-
don't have any applications. We're required to open it until we have two filled. And
Well,
right now we have zero.
there's, yeah,
And we
but
have a very interested
one of the
buyer
buildings
who's very
is in-
We had
serious.
two, and then they both just
Didn't
dropped.
follow through, apparently.
yeah,
Yeah, we've never issued any.
right.
We had two conditional licenses, but they never met the conditions. So
Right.
we still have zero.
How
And
hard
so
are
Right.
we making it for them to have a business here?
We're
No,
not.
but that's something we can
No.
talk about.
We had to
We'll
use
fill
a-
you in after that.
Ordinance that was
Let's not go
forced
there.
on us by, and
So
in my
we
opinion,
do have a
illegal.
buyer who is very serious. They put together a site plan.
When did this happen?
Well, those other two were
When
serious
did
in the
this
beginning.
happen?
Now and then they're not.
When did this happen? When
Yeah.
did what happen?
When did we have a buyer that,
Their realtor called me.
Today?
I don't know, 3 days ago maybe? So they're serious people. They do this. They're actually people who build. They're not people who are trying to make it sellable to somebody else. The site that they're looking at it works as far as our ordinance as it currently says. So the planning commission is probably going to be taking up consideration in 2 weeks at their next meeting. So as this thing formalizes, I'm just putting it on the radar it's a question that's out there. I think we are compelled to have to reopen the application process, and so,
The rules say that, we have to
No,
reopen it?
Whatever our current
yeah,
ordinance
we
Correct.
will,
states.
we
and
can,
that's what it states. And that's-
yeah.
This is a
So,
topic for its own
Yes.
meeting and its own special meeting,
Thank you.
and we are way off track.
Yes.
All right,
That's all I can say.
okay.
And if we're not sure about it, we probably should consult our village attorney on it.
How about it comes to the planning commission first? There we
That
go.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
There we
It's
go.
gotta go to the planning
And
commission.
then we'll be able to,
Well, I mean,
we
in
will
terms
get
of
it to the
whether or
right-
not to do an application, how to do
we'll
that.
get it to the right person.
Okay.
was there another handout you had? I'm sorry, I don't have the packet.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
DPW.
DPW garage, I just wanted to show you what the updates look like. The bathroom obviously is so much better.
Yes.
It needs some soft decorative touches, I would say.
Thanks, all right.
But it's very clean and presentable and nice. You can see there's now a urinal and a commode. There's the hand wash sink that is stainless steel and has a foot pedal, so it doesn't get nearly as dingy and dirty. We did have to put a new well pump in, which you see there.
Okay.
Well pump and tank. And then the other picture on top
Now, what
is where they
that?
took some of the extra flooring that we bought and built a little countertop, and we were
Oh,
just kind of
is that what that
experimenting
was?
with uses of that flooring. We were thinking about putting it up on the entire wall because
Looks
it's
like they could use it on the
waterproof.
floor there. Yeah.
Yes, the floor, and however we're gonna do the walls, maybe a fresh coat of paint. They're gonna continue to spruce up, but the rest of the sprucing up will be, here and there, kind of doing, it won't be having a crew come in to do anything organized.
But if there is extra flooring and they
There
can
is.
use it,
And we had talked about actually
that floor
doing
does
the
look.
entire walls in the bathroom with that flooring, because
But I
it's
wouldn't worry
waterproof.
about the walls, I'm talking
No,
about
I'm
the
saying
flooring.
we did this instead, but since we talked about that, Bob got experimental with it and
Yeah.
created that little space, so.
They need a new door, huh?
Where?
I
Oh,
don't-
yeah, yeah. And so I just wanted you to see the progress being made there, because I know you don't all get over there. I intended for there to be pictures of the office as well, because the flooring's all installed there now. I think most of you have been in and seen it. We did paint rooms while they were empty. There was a lot of wall work that needed to be done. They were pretty rough, so luckily we have one of our planning commissioners is a painter, has a painting company, and he came in and did it for almost nothing for us, which was great. So.
When things like that
We
come up,
hung several things today, so that the lobby is, well, I want to say done, but I found a whole bunch of old pictures and some historical stuff that had been piled in the back, brought it out and kind of made a display of it in the lobby. So there's a display from the museum, from the historical museum, and then as you work your way around the room, it starts with a celebration of the 125th, the 150th, and the 175th anniversaries and documents from that.
That's cool.
Then works its way around to some drawings, the rendered drawings we have of different buildings in town. And then the last one is, old photographs from the 40s and whatnot on the one wall. And so it's kind of walking you through the story, telling a little bit more about the history. So just thinking that's a public space and it's better to be celebrating things in there. So I think it looks nice. I mean, obviously it'd be cool if we had more stuff, or I'll work on getting the frames to be all matching, which will help, right? And over time, we might be able to do that. But now I'm looking for more pictures, more things to put up in there. So I also think,
Ask the mill.
yes, yeah, Alan, I've asked,
Have you checked with the library? They used to have a historical section with a lot of old
oh
documents.
yeah, that would be cool.
the cars pictures, are you putting those up somewhere? Did you mention that?
They're up, they never came down.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about making a more of an intentional presentation of all those, because now they're scattered so far back.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but that's kind of in my mind about, I want to do both, present those better and present some DDA stuff as well, like maybe have a wall of, they have so many certificates and gifts that they've been given to celebrate what they're
Right.
doing, that I think it'd be nice to make a little display of that too. And just so wherever you are in that building, you're kind of seeing the story and the activity and what we're doing. So I also have a vision for that copy room to be more of a usable space for the people whose building it is. So we have, the old site plans and drawings, and we have all these different maps and different, the water maps and these different road maps and whatnot. And I'm thinking about, when you go to a poster store and flip through them, right? If I have the maps up there, we have that big table that can be used as a drawing table. They can put their papers out. People can do whatever kind of historical work they want to, or prepping for buildings and looking at all the information we do have. I don't know how much it would be used, but neat to be able to offer that as a public service for folks to be able to come and use that room if they need for something like that. It kind of makes sense to me that right now we have all these things in all these disparate locations, but to put them together in one spot, and this is where we go when we're talking about building or anything else, this room's got all the resources we need, kind of a thing. So just trying to make it easier for the resident.
I like that idea.
Okay, what else do your notes have?
I told you I was gonna try to make it short.
Well, and I'm
This
holding
is
you
my
to it.
list, and we've covered 3 of them.
Yeah, so let them continue.
Road signage on
Fast
Davis.
forward is,
No, let them continue.
Road signage
yeah.
on Davis, I know that came up at our last meeting. We went and staged it all out. The paint took a long time to dry because it was cloudy, and unfortunately, 3 of the signs were taken by a local resident overnight. So we're replacing
And
those,
this
but
was
the rest of them
where?
are being put up on Davis Alley.
My
Someone
God.
stole the sign. Someone also took the M15 sign off on Oakwood and took that with them too, so apparently there's a sign collection thing going on right now.
Wow.
Did they have any cameras
But we're
over there in the
replacing
building?
those. No, there's
No?
no cameras on the
That's too
backside,
bad.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's something we might have to think about. I
You would
hadn't
think
thought
the
of it.
bank
Before we
would
put up
have a
more?
camera. I
Right,
don't
well,
know.
they do in their drive-through, but it doesn't point outside
Okay.
and down, so.
All right.
I talked about Heritage Park and the fact that we have 2 proposals. So anybody who would like to be part of that discussion, please let me know in the next day or two.
Yeah,
And I'll
I'd
have
like
you
to
join with
continue
Matt and
on.
I to do those interviews. Sorry. Putting together phase 2 of the paving right now. I'm not in a place where I'm ready to commit to what roads will be on there, but John, the owner of the paving company, was in today, and the way we're doing it is I'm making a quote based on like Google Earth measurements or whatever, and then he goes and refines it. He's actually walking around with the wheel and measuring everything. So those measurements are in for the next 10 or 12 roads, I think. So now it's about massaging dollars and figuring out what all we're going to be able to get accomplished. But I think by the end of this week, I'll be able to give you an update of what roads are expected to be done next.
And we have a streets committee tomorrow, we can talk about that too.
Yep. And I think that's all of these that need to be taking up your time, so.
I'm good.
Anything further? Takes us to item 13, which is adjournment. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? This meeting is now adjourned. It's 9:15.
See how that rolls into one.